Hey everyone. Thanks for being here. If you have a camera, please turn it on. Oh, Nick Peeper, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Nick, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Huge help, huge help. Just keeps us afloat. And yeah, it's no problem. It's no problem, Nick. It's whatever. And you've been such a big supporter of this
No,
community.
I'm not removing my banner. This is a Jason Society
Nick,
stream. Everybody needs to know it. Not like they didn't click on the button to come here or some shit.
That's weird. I don't know why you don't have a bit badge. You should have a bit badge for all the bits you've given. You've given a lot of bits. I don't know. I don't know why you're...
I'm Control-Zing everything. Fuck it all.
Well, no, I guess it does. It says you have 9,000 bits so far. All right. Yeah, I don't know why you don't have a bit badge, but you should like display your bit badge if you do have one, right? Let people know that you're a great donor to this channel, and we definitely do appreciate it. I only get on Twitch to dono. Oh, well, that's a good reason to be around. Good reason to be around, I think. Yeah. And someone should give to sub to fucking Nick, because Nick has been really great to us. It'd be great if someone gives this up to Nick. He's been really, really kind to this community. I watch your content on YouTube. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Oh, yeah, we're glad that you're here then. Yeah, thank you for doing that, for watching us on YouTube. Oh, and to the rest of you, exclamation point social and chat. For our social media, I forgot to say that before. You can follow us on Discord, which is, oh, God, that's really annoying. Whatever that sound was. I didn't like that. Follow us on Twitter to get channel updates. Jump to our Discord, the Heart and Soul of the community, where we have all these conversations. We're going to have open panel discussion there in Discord, right? And we're having tons of discussions offline, in text channels and voice channels. Like, it doesn't matter. That's where the community is, right? So be a part of that. Also, the YouTube, as Nick Cubre was so kind as to point out, we do have a YouTube, and that's where you'll find the VODs. So you'll find the VODs of these debates there. If you missed anything, right, that's where you'll find it. Jump on in there. All right, great. All right, so let's go. Put this on camera.
I just wanted to say I disagree with you guys on everything.
Yep. I feel the same.
Great. Thank you for being here, Jason Society. Thanks for stopping by. H9 for coming through. Dan, our illustrious mod, Captain A. Jones, also tier 3 sub. Gotta let him know. Thank you for the kindness. Thank you for being around. And we have a new person, I think. New person.
Yeah.
Is it Nampro? Hello? Hi?
Hello, how are you doing?
Fine. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Okay. Well, thank you, Nampro, for no, that's a good introduction. For subscribing immediately. We love that. Yeah, we love that. Thank
You're
you,
gonna get
Nampro.
some support, alright?
Yeah, exactly.
Support the platformer, homies.
You got the same idea I did. I bought my way into this community as well. You can do the same, all right?
For what? I don't
Hustle's got to hustle, baby. Hustle's got to hustle.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Nampro, with that hot tier 1 kiss, not kiss, sub. Thank you for subbing. And welcome to the community. Welcome to the Russian Nation. All right. So, first of all, before I start, is there anything you all wanted to discuss? Anything burning you guys wanted to jump in on?
Anything burning. Those are words that, for me, definitely apply to something other than the subject.
Okay.
There was
I know. I got that. I got.
What's up, Valenti?
Hey, Valenti. Yeah, thanks for being
Oh, now that Valenti is here, I can argue for an argument. I've been saying it in chat for a while now, but you know, and I've actually had some good support in chat, which means something. That's definitely something that is That's it's meaningful to have
Really?
chat behind me. as one of the chat people from chat, I like to think of myself as a chat. I like to think that we matter. Chat.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do
Yes,
drugs.
don't do drugs. Yes.
As
Doobie,
a,
what's your
Lots.
thoughts on
Do them all,
libertarianism?
but responsibly.
as
Actually, speaking of libertarians, it looks like one of my childhood idols, Larry Elder, lost his bid to be California's governor today.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
sad.
I didn't
I'm
get it.
sorry.
My heart is broken.
Condolences. Kisses.
My heart is broken.
Yeah. Did he end up losing by 67+% still?
I didn't even look. Okay,
It's-
fake news. It's rigged. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, it's all rigged.
Okay, the last
Larry
time I
Elder
looked-
had the shit out before it
And
even
I'll admit,
before the
I'll
election
admit.
even happened, before people even voted.
As I tell Mr. Jones not to do drugs, or tell all of you not to do drugs, I literally just cracked up over there.
So you're drunk. So you're drunk.
Cheers.
I just started.
He just cracked it open. He's already drunk. That checks out. That checks out.
He
The
can be a
monarch,
lightweight.
the monarch
milk is
frog
beef,
drinking
milk is beef, I don't
astringents is
drink.
interesting.
so I have a question.
If you like me and
mostly about
Prime, we don't
domestic
drink
US
at all.
politics.
So,
Um,
would you say no?
so-
Go ahead.
So, do you think it's easier to get the 1 trillion or I think it's 1.3 trillion dollar bill passed compared to the 3.5? Because a lot of people are talking about the 3.5 being cut in funding by quite a bit. But wouldn't it just be easier to pass like the 1.3 trillion dollar bill with 500 billion in new spending for the infrastructure bill? Like it just seems like a lot easier of a path to do. And it seems like if we get 500 billion in new spending, that'd be more effective than waiting months and we might just get denied by Joe Manchin. And it just seems easier to do this bill, right?
It just sounds like monopoly money that none of us are equipped to talk about. To be honest. With you.
Wait, no.
That's probably
You could
fair.
wait. Time out. You could,
No,
Nampo,
it's
you could say
tandem.
like
They're
that. We
supposed to
could
run in
pass it
tandem.
like right now. You could say we could pass it right now, and we could say you had that 1 point whatever trillion dollars. But really, that money is going to be spent over like a decade. So passing it right now doesn't actually do anything tomorrow. Like it takes effect for a long time, and like so 3 months doesn't really affect the time scale of the operation we're dealing with, and like it's 3 times as much. And when you're dealing on trillions of dollars, like. Go look how many zeros are in trillions, and then go look like at a millionaire. Like people don't understand how much $1 million is.
Sure, but what if I told you right
$1
now?
million
I could get
is
you-
a one
I-
followed
I
by
could get you.
seven
If we
zeros.
funded the IRS enough, I could get you 1 trillion in new spending, and like we'd have an extra couple hundred billion left over from the 500 billion we'd have in new spending. So the 1.3 trillion dollar bill is 500 billion in new spending. It's not like any additional spending. And if we fund the IRS more, we might get like 800, 900 billion more dollars, right?
Why don't we
I
give
totally
the
agree
IRS?
with
wait,
funding
why
the
don't we
IRS
give
more.
the IRS
100%. Sorry.
Why don't we give the IRS $1 trillion, and then we can get $6 trillion down the road?
No, it's not. No.
That's fucking
That's not
based.
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
What I'm
that
saying
That's
is-
pretty
That's
good.
actually
I
a
like
fucking
that
genius
idea.
plan.
So
Yeah.
the Washington Post article, the IRS chief said that like, and we're not going to get to $1 trillion. Obviously, that's not true.
Mhm.
But we could get to maybe 800, 700 billion dollars in additional spending if we fund the IRS equipped enough, compared to
Mhm.
what the IRS chief says, right? So like, if we get that money, right? The idea is we're not going to go too far into deficit spending. We're going to get enough for like the 500 extra billion, right, in additional spending for the
Mhm.
1.3 trillion. It
Like, this
doesn't
is
seem
straight up like
that
the Brady
outlandish
Bunch
that we
right
can, like,
now.
land that money.
Look
But
at
every
me.
one of these dollars, we get a return on investment, right? That's like higher than the initial like dollar invested. So why don't we just invest $10 trillion and go for that?
Well, no, it's not going to be like an
Wait.
infinite amount of money. That's probably not a. Like,
Why don't we do $20 trillion?
Well, I think it's a
Well,
bell
I'm not
curve
just
where
saying it's
there's like a
infinite money.
certain point.
Like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
Where-
we just
where-
print more money. It's magic. It's not.
Oh,
true.
I'll say it. Fuck it.
MMT.
I mean,
No,
money
no, no.
printer go bird. That's actually not necessarily untrue. When
It
you
isn't
have,
untrue.
especially when you have a situation where we have right now, where every country is devaluing its currency, and we just happen to hold the reserve currency slot of the world. We can kind of just do it, and everybody else is just going to have to be like, well, fuck, we're doing it too. Everyone, yay! I mean, if you look at like the price of the
Everybody's doing
dollar-
it. Why can't we?
Well, yeah, and
no, I don't think we should.
and
print
even-
more
even
money
more
and
so.
spend it. I don't
Right,
think that's
we
true at
haven't.
all, but we
Well-
can get to a point where we're not
How much
deficit
money have
spending
we
is
traded so far, though?
quite
How
a
much
bit,
money
especially
have we
since
printed?
COVID. Most governments have though since COVID.
Exactly. That's my point. So we could
Yeah,
print like
so we
another
can stay
2 to 3
competitive.
trillion.
Not necessarily good. Like we might not be in a fantastic position to like keep printing more money, right? Since we've already printed enough,
but,
and most
are-
governments have as well.
Printing,
not doing
printing
it
more money
permanently,
isn't the
you know,
problem.
you know.
It's the amount of money the government collects from the free market. So like you can like think the government like the economy. People like buy stuff, the government buys stuff, and then the government collects money. So people have all this money, so the government can go out and
wish I
just
could,
print all
like,
this new
rig up
money,
my
but
cell
they have
phone
to
cam so that I could
recollect
let you
that
guys
money
see,
in
like,
the form
my
of taxes
concentrates and
at an
pick the
acceptable
one I'm
rate,
gonna do.
so you don't have inflation
But I
and you don't
can't
have
do that
these
'cause it'll show
prices
up on Prime's
going
panel,
up. Like inflation
that
is
would be a
really
bad
bad.
thing.
Like people don't remember what 30% inflation does. Like when your paycheck, like you sign a contract for 2
Join
years,
Stella
at the
Artois.
end of that contract, you're making like 30% less than what you made at the beginning, just because prices change.
H9, I'm really curious what you think our inflation is currently.
It's like what 3.942.
Yeah. So we
Yes.
would have to increase our inflation by like 8x, or the money supply by like 8x, inflation by 8x to get to where.
Wait. Inflation at 10% is
about?
really bad.
Yeah, but why? What I'm saying?
We're not at 10% though.
Exactly. What I'm saying is
Okay,
that
time out. People
And we
are
got
always
plenty of room.
people are
We
already
got plenty
bitching
of
at
room.
like
We got
3.2.
plenty of headroom.
People are already bitching on Instagram at like the prices now. So I don't know what you think.
Who's bitching though? Are you talking about people who are trying
Wait,
to buy used cars?
That doesn't have to do
American
with the money
citizens
printed.
who
That does
probably
not have to
don't.
do with the money printed. That has to do with the scarcity of resources. There was just a lawsuit that was put out for $181 billion against Tyson and several other chicken companies because they were fixing the prices on chickens to make them higher than what they were, and people were already paying more than they should have. What that tells me is that this has more to do with private industry.
Wait, if the
and
prices
they're-
of chicken were so high, why didn't another chicken factory come in and do it at a lower
Because
cost?
they were
because they were
colluding
working
with each
together,
other.
which is why there was a
Wait, why
class
didn't
action
I,
lawsuit.
Joe Schmo, who owns
Well,
10
that's a good
chickens, start
'Cause
and
your
say,
name's
fuck
not
you,
redneck.
Tyson?
Well, maybe
That's not a
you didn't do
cost.
it. H9, there was a business
All right,
opportunity
because
there,
time out.
and
Prime
you-
said
you
the barrier of
missed out
entry.
on it.
Prime just listed the barrier of entry. These companies do a lot of upfront spending to get where they are. It's okay that they charge these little extra prices, and you could I don't know the exact report. They
Not
could
when
be
they
price fixing,
monopolize.
which
Not
is
when they
illegal
monopolize
in
and
the
screw
system
over
we
the
have.
families, because that's who they affect. They don't affect big business. They affect individual families, because it's the individual families that can't afford to buy in bulk. It's the individual families that can't afford to spend the extra money to say, screw that, I'm going to go to some stupid a specialty family farm or some shit like that. No, they're
Wait, but
stuck
time
at the
out. They
mercy
go to
of what's
another
right
bus-
there.
They go to Walmart or wherever they go to a
Because
grocery
that's
store.
all they
grocery
have.
store
A lot of these people
that
live in
grocery
food
store goes
deserts.
out to other businesses and tries to find the best price to sell at their grocery store.
H9.
The way that, yeah,
But that doesn't work for distribution.
Wait, one sec. Hey, one sec.
I would
H9,
love to hear from Duke.
I think you need to lower your gain or maintain low tones. One of those things.
Yeah, thank you for beating me to it. Like this. I was
Here,
gonna
I'll
say
move it
your
for-
You loud bitch.
your mic is usually good. I know you're.
He's
your
usually
sound is
not
usually
this
actually really
not
good.
this hostile, but that's all right. I
My
kind of
bad.
like it.
Okay, so
He really cares about chickens.
he really does care about chickens. You know what? That's totally okay. I love a good wing. But okay, so I guess my whole
think we
point
all
of-
do.
by pointing out what the
Hell
current
yeah.
inflation rate is just to point out that we're nowhere near there. And also to point out something else about the current inflation rate. The current inflation rate is high, and according to what the inflation rate has been for the last 20 years. But that's
Oh,
only
thanks
a
for the follow,
temporary
Casey.
thing. That's because
Oh,
we were giving out
subscribed
money.
with Prime?
People were-
You-
hold on,
you
hold on,
say
hold on,
that.
hold
You
on.
say
You
that.
definitely
H9,
get a
H9,
dab for that
H9.
shit. That's
That was a
awesome,
temporary
dude.
thing
Thank
because
you
we
so
were literally
much.
handing people money during COVID. We were giving out stimulus checks, unemployment, etc. And so yes, we saw inflation because we saw a lot more because there wasn't as many people in the economy working, and so the whole thing shifted. Instead, everyone's just buying stuff and not enough people stocking it, etc. There's all these logistical supply chain issues that end up happening. So inflation. So like right now, inflation is for 3-point-something%, and used cars are up 40%, but groceries. Just like on average, your average groceries, if you look at like, eggs are up, but is that like, what is that a problem with inflation, or is that a problem with egg manufacturing and logistics and supply chains with the egg manufacturers? And like, so there's a million things that are causing prices to go. Hold on. Okay. There's a million things that are causing prices to go up, and that's why you see the core inflation number going up. But again, we've maintained for the last like 2 decades, damn near,
under 2%,
2%, inflation number, which is actually lower than we've wanted. We want to be at around 2.5% inflation.
I know, but you don't want to remake that ground. You don't want to be like, we've been under 2 for like 20 years. You don't want to say like, we need to be over 2 to like regain that. That doesn't work with.
So in a normal situation, if the
actually is exactly how an organic market works, though.
But if the pandemic hadn't happened, see, the pandemic is this X factor. It's a black swan event that happened that nobody could have predicted, and nobody was prepared for. And so like, we had to do certain things to get us over the pandemic, and that caused the CPI, the core inflation, to go up. But
wait, I am not against anything that we've done currently. Like,
all I'm saying is that, it's like what Jay Powell says. Inflation is transitory, and it's gonna.
I saw your debate with that anti-abortion guy today. I was watching it on
Jay Powell was the best.
Your stream for
he's gonna get reelected.
Holy crap, man!
Or not elected, but like reassigned or.
Son kind of owned him. He kind of owed him.
I really hope so. Jay Powell is literally the best head of the Fed in the history of the Fed. In my
and that's a good take.
Yeah, because he knows exactly all of this. He's played the markets like a fucking fiddle.
It's a fucking
like a Stradivarius thing.
Violin.
Just let Stephanie Kelton head the Fed.
Okay. So I want to maybe open this up conversation. I'm not sure if everyone can contribute to this. So before you had a question, Doobie, I'm not sure if you remember what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Jason what 3.42% inflation means.
What it means?
Yeah, what's it mean?
It's the value of our money comparative to our CPI.
Wait, no. Can you explain? So you said that inflation is at 3.42%. What does that mean?
It means that the value of our dollar goes down, and the value of product and consumption goes up
by 3.42%.
Not necessarily, because we're already at 2.4%, so we're only going up by whatever the difference is.
So, where does this 3.4? What the fuck does that even mean?
I didn't say that.
Dude, you want me to answer it? I'm stoned.
What are you getting at, Doobie? No, what's your grand plan here? What's your grand plan here,
Doobie? My grand plan, like I said at the very start of this conversation, when you fucking
okay, I'm shit.
Wanted to talk about inflation and should we go for 1.5 trillion or 2 trillion or 3 trillion, whatever the fuck. This is a conversation that most people aren't equipped to have. It's a boring conversation on top of that, even when people are equipped to have it. So why don't we just not have it at all?
You know what, Han Solo?
Why didn't you say that? Why didn't you just come out and say that?
Okay,
it makes me happy when I can ask you guys weird questions that make you uncomfortable.
Oh, I don't care. I can ask away.
Then do the condom shit. Don't do what's 3.2 inflation.
Well, the inflation is simply, it means if you have $100 now, that it's going to be worth 3.2% less. Compounding though, year over year. So that's why it hurts even fucking more the longer time goes on, because you get compounding interest.
But it's not going. It won't. Usually, it doesn't occur that way, which is why I was explaining that our market it doesn't.
You know what,
work.
Mr. Frog? I swear to fucking God, me and you, Frog. I'm gonna cheer.
Does anyone know why inflation is good?
Yeah, it keeps the supply of money flowing, and it doesn't clog up. But essentially, what happens if you don't have a a inflating money supply, what ends up happening is it gums up the private sector because the private sector is not able to get the capital.
People
that
will
they
just
need
hold
via
on to their
lending.
money. If money doesn't decrease in
Essentially,
value,
yeah.
people will just leave it under
Banks
their
will
beds
hold on to their money. It's really
in a savings account, and it's not good for the economy.
They won't even trade in the marketplace. Like it's
the
horrible.
banks will not lend to companies, so companies will not be able to get this free.
All right, Doobie, you happy with this conversation?
Do you feel better now? Do you need a hug,
No,
Doobie?
Okay.
Yeah, let's
I
be honest.
don't feel
All right.
I'll hug your froggy,
Sorry,
froggy butt.
We're done, maybe.
I like that tongue.
Sure, we can try something else. So
I'm really into frogs.
I'll have to say that.
So was it last night? I guess I don't know. Whatever. But recently, they had Met Gala as a gala for the Met Museum in New York, which is the star-studded event. And I guess it's a fundraiser for the Met. Whatever, but it's unimportant. All that matters is what happens outside the Met, just before the gala itself. All right, that's the only part that anyone ever actually cares about.
True.
Because they have this red carpet where all those stars get to walk down, and everyone can see them and take pictures and
Stop giving away our secrets.
This year, as the people were going through, like,
Who's trying to make me drink water?
you
Hang
should
on.
know that for every year, people just do like increasingly crazy outfits. Like it just gets more insane year after year after year, to just get that publicity or something or make a statement. I don't know, right? But it's whatever the women are wearing. That's kind of really what makes the night. Last night, or whenever it happened, AOC came through and she was wearing a white dress that says "Tax the Rich" on the back.
That was a bomb-ass dress I've ever seen. That was a bomb-ass dress I've ever seen.
It got a lot of attention.
Hell yeah! Hell
people,
yeah! Hell yeah!
Like people wrote articles. People did.
Does he
news
look
stories
like
and
a
all that.
bitch?
So
Then why are you trying to
what
treat
I'm
him
going
like a
for,
bitch?
what I want to ask is about
What?
political stunts.
What ain't
We're
no
not gonna
country
focus
I ever
specifically
heard.
on this one woman's dress, but like,
I
what is
only
the
have
value of
mango.
political stunts? Do you think that these things are worth it?
I
Do you
have
think they do anything?
mango, pineapple,
Like,
and
if
I
they
don't know what the other one is.
Like, if they're not like moving the needle, like, do you think publicity to an issue is enough, or is something that shouldn't be done in the first place? So yeah, AOC coming in that dress with "Tax the Rich," is that something that,
And blackberry.
like, her as a politician, especially
Mango, pineapple, and blackberry.
should politicians be up to stunts like that, or do you think? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think like in terms of what AOC did, you can debate on whether it moved the needle.
That's
or
actually
not,
what I'm drinking right now. The mango.
necessarily like in the short term.
Easy.
I don't
That's
think
what I
that her
opened.
doing it necessarily made anybody go, yes, I do want to tax the rich now. Actually, now that I've seen AOC wearing this dress, but I think she
I've been
definitely
drinking
succeeded,
Snoop
'cause I
wine
think,
since.
like tax the rich as an idea is now, well, it's now trending on Twitter, whether you like it or not. And on my Twitter feed is filled with AOC and her dress, and many memes about it as well. But so I think that in and of itself is in the long
I'm just
term
on the low carb, like
going
keto
to,
thing. That's why I'm
at the
drinking
very
it.
least raise awareness
Because that or
for it,
wine. And
for taxing
wine
the
sometimes
rich,
isn't very refreshing in the summertime.
as an idea. So
Especially when all
if
you drink
think
is
about
red
it
wine.
like almost like tax the rich as a product, and she's like doing this free advertisement for it. You know, she just gets media to give her free advertisement by wearing a
have
dress,
one.
and now everybody goes fucking crazy.
That's what I'm drinking.
And so she did what she wanted.
To answer his prime question, like politicians should be able to do political stunts, especially in public. I think her tax the rich is fine. I think it would have been a little weird if it was a call out to violence, like what Trump did at January 6th. We can see that was a political call to action or a political stunt. we can see that was clearly wrong because there was like almost an indirect call to violence. And I think we can all that's wrong. And I would think if
your lawyer
AOC had
says
done something
so,
like
I'll
shoot
just
all
accept that
landlords,
as truth.
that would have been a
As
problem
I
if she
hand
would
you
have
a
done that on
whiskey.
her back. But the tax to rich is a clean statement, and it's pretty popular. I would almost say so popular that it was ineffective what she did.
I was just thinking it just comes off as like vapid attention seeking, to be honest with you.
Did you see Lauren Southern's tweet?
No, I didn't.
I don't know. I grew up in the era of punk rock and hung out with a lot of punk rockers, and that shit seemed real punk rock to me, dude. I was about that shit. I thought she blew up. She looked good doing it. She threw the shit out there. She made her statement. You know what? She got invited to a very illustrious event with people that won't give her the time of day to talk about the issues that she's trying to address with these very people. They won't even. They would not even answer if she were to try to approach them about the type of shit she's dealing with. So you know what? She put it on a statement on a dress. She walked into their house and said, "Bitch, this is my house tonight. Here you go. Here it is. Here in the open. Take it. Suck it right here."
Wearing a dress worth like several $1,000s.
That was donated to her for the event by a sustainable woman of color, fashion artist who is not wealthy, who is it was from her neighborhood.
You should be able to pull the woman card if you're going to pull the price of the dress card. Okay,
there isn't a price of the dress card though. It was rent. It was
rapid attention seeking.
She didn't buy the dress. She didn't buy the dress.
Message yourself is something she puts on Twitter every fucking day. Right, this is vapid attention seeking, get publicity for herself.
What do you mean by vapid?
It's to get position. It's to get attention for her cause, and she made it quite clear.
Well, to be clear, guys, to be clear, this was $30,000 a ticket to the Met Gala.
Yeah, but she was invited.
She didn't
but every public official in New York is invited. It's actually a responsibility of theirs to be there.
I have a simple question. What people were you talking about that wouldn't give her the time of the day? Who are those people? What do you mean?
People that invited her to this event that cost $30,000 a ticket, they won't give her the time of the day? Shut up.
No, that's what. No, I'm asking what.
I know. I'm saying that's a stupid.
The people that are paying for those tickets. Do you think they're going to talk to AOC? They don't have an interest in what she has to say.
Why wouldn't they talk to her? Yes.
No, they don't, though, because what she is saying is antithetical to what they want. This was her chance to throw it in their face.
They literally lost out on $30,000 to get her into their stupid fucking event. Like, what do you mean they won't talk to her?
Yeah.
The organization, the structure that invites every single politician in New York at a certain level to these events because it's a part of their duty to understand the culture and the arts of the state in which they legislate. Like, what don't you get about that?
What?
Like, you have a responsibility to know that. You're funding that shit.
Where people wear ugly fucking outfits and nobody's ever going to wear out in public ever. That's part of the culture that they need to be aware of. That's what they need to worry about. Fuck that.
Based.
It's a part of the role. It's a part of the role. You can't disconnect the two.
It's like, what do you want more? It's like, bro, like you guys have in your TV, like Kim Kardashian, TV series for whole the public, they are overrated and we enjoy them. Like, you can see chat, people enjoy watching these things.
No, but you shouldn't be politicians doing this.
I would have respected her more if she said fuck you to the invitation and then held like a block party down the street.
Wait.
That would have been based.
Wait. This is important. Like, do you want your politicians to be like look at the Canadian presidential election? Well, they are so fake. No one is real. Just looking at the camera, not even responding to the journalist. It's like so weird, so creepy. You go. You need more AOC people, more real people. Okay, they're like,
hell yeah,
not any more real than any other politician.
So based.
Hot take. She's not any more real than Joe Manchin.
Yeah.
I think what she did was I think she looked good in the dress. If people a little
oh
my god,
pull back there. Pull back.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Okay.
She's got it.
She did. She looks amazing in that dress.
She's got it.
I think what she did was going to get people. It's going to get people talking. Like even like people trolling her, bad publicity is still like good because it gets people talking.
Thank you.
Absolutely not.
That's
No, this is
exactly
not good
what
for
I was
politicians.
saying.
Just make bad
Thank you,
publicity.
Ryuji.
No.
Absolutely amazing.
Right.
It's like AOC has been based for so long, right? Especially
nothing
since
based
she
about
started. No,
But that's Republic. Listen, if a Republicans, if the
I said it before.
Republican
AOC is beautiful
came
and
in
she's
there,
incredibly intelligent.
with,
she is
we
like
need more taxes
the
for
ideal
poor
woman
people.
for
Would you say
any
the same
guy
shit?
that's like a hetero guy that would want to be with somebody. To me, anyways.
So first
The
off, I don't.
Definitely my
Republicans are
perspective.
already,
Confused by that.
pretty bad. So.
I
feel
don't
like they probably
like what's your
for
problem?
that.
What's your problem with the like what like just her coming in there? Like for some people, yeah, it does look cringe. Like it does look the dress.
Young
I
cringe.
heard that is cringe,
It makes
but I
her
think she
look
looked good
like
in the dress.
just another
Saying cringe
just
and
another
going on this cringe.
yuppie, liberal, elite piece of shit, totally
She-
disconnected from reality.
She looked great, and it was
At
from a woman of
$30,000
color
ticket
designer that
fucking
was
gala
not
event.
She was
wealthy.
compromising with
It
other
wasn't a
where they're
wealthy
wearing- where they-
designer,
where they
dude. Like, what are
model
you
fucking-
talking
Where they
about?
model $10,000 outfits that nobody can fucking afford.
I mean,
She-
literally,
if she were actually based, she would have said no. She would
If
have
she were
burned the ticket
actually
on
based,
Twitter.
she wouldn't have
She would
gotten
have
a
burned the
dress
ticket on
off
Twitter.
of somebody that was also for.
Shut up. Doobie, finish your point.
What I was going to say is that if she were actually this based person that you're talking about, Valencia, she would have burnt the invitation on Twitter, then invited everybody to a block party down the street. But no, she wanted to hang out with these rich fucks. Right, that's what it was. She wanted to get her virtual single points in. Oh, I'm sure all these yuppie elitist pieces of shit would agree with her. They all took pictures with her. Oh God, tax the rich. Yeah, fuck the rich. While they're paying
Did they?
$30,000 a ticket. These people are fucking
Who took
disgusting.
pictures with her? What pictures did you see with her with
Hey, she was
anybody else?
literally on like
Literally
a red
on her
carpet.
Instagram. Literally on her Instagram. What are you talking about?
With
There's
who?
professional photographers taking pictures of her. What are you talking about?
At the event?
Pictures of her with who?
Yes, at the event. There are
With
professional
who?
photographers.
With who else?
they
With who
invited
else?
her.
With who else? Who else was she in the pictures with?
I will show you her pictures of her with socialites from that event. That are, I'm sure, millionaires. Because they paid $30,000 a ticket to get in. Okay, it's
Wait.
all over
Is she
fucking.
not allowed to take photos? Is she not allowed to take photos with people?
That's a separate question. Okay?
No. It's
The reality
thing
is that these people vote Democrat, right? So her doing the tax the rich shit there, like she does on Twitter, she still got invited, even doing the rich shit on Twitter.
But so did
Right?
all
Because
the
these people
Republicans
Are
too.
as disconnected as she is. They're fucking elitist pricks. Fuck them.
First of all, she's not disconnected. Second of all, her public stunt, whatever it is, was very successful. I mean, if she did your hypothetical of her burning the ticket, she wouldn't get the same publicity as literally going to the Met Gala, right?
What are you talking about? That's way better.
Definitely look at the tax. The
She
rich
already did
Google
shit like
search
that.
alone. It spiked up when that happened. Like she achieved her.
You act like she hasn't done that kind of shit already, though. She's already done that kind of shit. So don't tell me that. You know what? Sometimes you have to evolve and you have to do different shit. She's already done the block party thing. She's already done stuff like
she's
that.
doing everything everybody else does. Okay, she's just being a
Trending
celebrity.
more
Fuck
than
her.
the fucking California recall right now, bro.
What?
Like,
I think
fucking people
you're
care more
jealous
about a
you didn't
dress
go
than
to
they
the
do
Met
about the
Gala.
goddamn governor of a state.
Well, that's because
You're
Larry
jealous
Elder
you
lost
didn't
like
go
a
to the Met
fool.
Gala
I mean,
as
that's
she did. Okay.
Homeboy's hero right
I'm
here.
so
That's
glad.
Doobie's hero, but you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Larry Elder. Fuck yes.
All right.
Really?
So, let's before we go down that rabbit hole. I disagree with Doopy, but that's not a surprise, right? I guess maybe I'm of two minds of these things, right? So for her, oh wait a minute,
Doobie is a
Pause.
frog monarchist.
Happy days are
Are we
here
singing happy
again.
birthday?
He's a
no.
frog
I
monarchist.
mean, I don't know. Is our birthday? I don't
We
think it's our
could.
birthday.
I mean, it feels like my birthday now.
It feels like someone's birthday,
Right?
The return.
Yeah. Oh my God, Mix.
What's up?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
How bad is this microphone? Because like my other microphone broke, and I've got this one. My friend bought me. It's not too bad.
All your loveliness, all your loveliness.
Actually,
is
I
being
hate his takes, but I
transmitted.
love debating his takes
Yeah,
because
let's
it's so outlandish.
you
He
wanna
goes
you wanna
so
sing a song
far.
for
It's
Vivian?
great.
Right? Do you want to do?
Yes.
No, yes, sir.
What? No, I'm good.
No.
Thanks.
Oh no,
It's
too
like
late.
from the Bloodsport
So I
perspective
guess
of
happy birthday,
it.
whatever.
But
It does
Happy
make it
birthday.
entertaining, even if he
Happy
ends up getting
birthday
shit on the whole
to
time.
us. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to us.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday
you.
Happy
Birthday,
birthday, dear
dear.
us.
Happy birthday to you.
We did it! We did it! That's a success. That's a success.
Outstanding. So, yeah, after that wave of love, I only popped in to say you're all fucking cringe. Like, this doesn't. No, okay. Let me get this out. Right, you're all cringe. It doesn't fucking matter, right? Doobie's cringe because like she's not super fucking disconnected for going to the Met Gala. How the fuck do you think politicians get on? They have to fucking interact with the elites and so on, so that they can move up in politics. Those are the people who pay their fucking pay their campaigns, etc. Right? Like you can't not engage with those people as a politician. She's also not the most based fucking person in the world either. Like she's spent enough time just sort of fucking around with like lukewarm bullshit that we all recognize that she's not like the most based person in the world. What she is like a decidedly more left than usual Democrat. And she's probably really useful to have around. So she should probably stop shitting on her. And if you think the dress was cringe, you think the dress was cringe, doesn't matter. Still got people Googling and shit. It's incrementalism. Everybody wants some fucking radical change, some kind of savior or some kind of fucking demon. But you're not going to get that. You're just going to get like people who are just ever so slightly more left. Every couple of years, somebody new will pop up, and they will be equally lukewarm, and you'll be like, they're not radical enough, blah 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 blah. But when they are, they don't fucking get into office, you know. So,
well, mixed even more back again to rain on our parades.
but I love you all.
I love you too. So hold on. I'll respond to both you and Doobie, right, and tell you how wrong both you are. First of all, I'm Mixed Vivian Wolf. With AOC, she gets her money from small dollar donors, so she doesn't actually have to, like deal with the rich the way others have to, right? Like I mean, that's part of her whole platform is that she doesn't want to be beholden to these individuals, the same individuals that she was at that gala with, right? Okay. Well, beyond that, I think I mean, in terms of her her stance, like in terms of like where she falls on the political spectrum, I mean, I'll give you that one.
Whoa!
But I think when it comes to these stunts like grab attention in a way that a regular discussion doesn't, right? So someone was complaining before, and I'm not sure if it was one of you guys or a previous discussion I heard of, that like this doesn't really move the needle, right? This doesn't make it. This doesn't get us closer to some sort of policy objective. But that's not how these things work, right? You want to get yourself out there in the news and have your message there, right? That people can digest it and to talk about it, just like we're doing now, right? It's a success because we're doing this. And if she had one gone wearing just some ordinary dress, the same dress, but without the message on the back, then we wouldn't be talking about it. No one would be talking about it. So she's all over the place, right? And she's in areas where they usually won't cover. So like fashion magazines, right? They never cover this type of stuff. These celebrity celebrity journalists, quote unquote journalists, fucking vultures. They're covering it. It's in all kinds of places where it would never be. So the message is getting out there. Tax rich. Hey, what does that mean? Like, why I should put that on there? Like, what's this conversation about? Let me ask some questions. Most people will go over their heads, but for a few, it'll grab their attention. Get her name out there. Then next time it comes up, oh, I remember her. I'm a person who's not fully engaged in politics, but I remember this woman. Maybe I'll listen to her. Now when she's giving this speech, maybe learn more about this woman. Like that's how this works. And I think she played the game like well, and like for something so low cost, and she put like tax the rich in her butt. Like it's, I don't see how it's bad. But
well, I don't think you're really disagreeing with me all that much, apart from the whole like campaign contribution thing. I don't know exactly where like she gets all her campaign contributions from, but like even if she's only raising from like individual donors, she still needs like a portion of that high society to be like somewhat on her side, or at least amenable with her, so that she can do the job of diplomacy that she has to do being in government, right? So like she's gonna have to attend social events like that anyway, regardless. But oh shit, there was one other thing that I was gonna say, because you were saying something else that I was like, oh yeah, like getting the message out there and shit. Yeah, absolutely. Like that was something that I said as well, which was that like, yeah, this gets people googling the phrase tax the rich, I guess. Like I don't think it's necessarily a phrase that needs like a stupid amount more attention. I feel like it's already in the public consciousness somewhat, like, but you know, more can't hurt.
Yeah, I feel like maybe she could have chosen like a better slogan, or something more interesting.
Yeah, she should have worn "Eat the Rich" on that fucking dress.
But see,
that's what
that's
violence.
That's violence.
That's a little bit too far.
Oh, suck it, you dweeb! Look,
okay,
well,
that's what I was saying about like people always want. Like,
the United States have a lot of.
Oh, sorry, Dan's really quiet. I can't hear him very well. I'm going to turn him up. Sorry. What were you saying, Dan?
Well, if she goes around and says "eat the rich," then the more of the talk will be coming from. It was like, look at this decorum. She wants to kill all the rich now. Like you obviously that would lead
of course
that
it would
way.
be. Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. But that's what I was saying, right? Everybody wants like a politician who is like, well, maybe not everybody. Quite a lot of people like very lukewarm politicians who just don't get in the way. But like most people who are like properly interested in politics want a politician that's gonna take some kind of radical position, right? Because if you're interested in politics, you're probably interested in politics either because you're a career professional, or for us lay people who aren't, because you have issues that you care deeply about, things that you think need drastic change, right? And you're not gonna. It's very, very difficult to find politicians that will advocate for the level of radical change that you want, and even when they do, they're not going to be right there on all of those issues either, because they can only afford like one or two radical positions. Do you know what I mean? Like too many, and it's like, yeah, you're never getting fucking elected.
Have you looked at AOC's positions? I mean, most of them are pretty radical by a lot of standard Washington.
Universal healthcare, like tax the rich some more. What are we talking about here? What
in America? Those are pretty radical.
That's really radical in the United States. That's incredibly radical. Like, I mean, we have people pushing multi-million-dollar efforts against her, with several corporations pushing against her every time that she runs for office. Like, I mean, like, there's a reason for that.
Where does she stand on the decommodification of housing?
I think she's actually for that.
Yeah.
Oh, come off it, mate. Come off it. She would never.
No, she's actually. Her and Cory Bush are both actually advocates for a level of decommodification of housing, or at least housing subsidies. So
wait, housing subsidies is not the fucking decommodification of housing, friend.
I understand, but you got to understand we have to make incremental moves because we're in a government that is resistant against change.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that you can't have
just because you want something doesn't mean that that's where you position for when you have to actually interact with people that can help you make the change, right?
Okay, yes, but you can't.
So I'm a socialist, right? But I know that I'm not going to get to socialism in my lifetime here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take incremental changes, just like Bernie Sanders did for 40 freaking years, adding amendments onto bills so that he could do that. You know, so that's what.
I agree with you. Well, I mean, I'm not like.
But that doesn't mean that you don't want the end goal. That doesn't mean that you don't want like the decommodification of housing.
Now you're fucking projecting, right? Like, we don't know in her heart of hearts what it is that AOC believes. But I can tell you, she hasn't publicly come out and said, "I advocate for the total decommodification of housing," right? Because it would fucking murder her politically.
If she did, it'd be based as hell, though.
Of course, it would be based as hell, but then she'd never win another fucking election, would she?
So I kind of want to. I want to give Doobie a chance to respond to the things I said, and then I want to expand this conversation because I didn't want to just focus in on this one dress. But go ahead.
Yeah, everything you said was wrong, but I can't remember what it was. But I was, no, but I was actually thinking about what Vivian said, right? That, she needs to interact with these, high level elite
He's so
types,
bitter.
To get her campaign.
The Battletoad is so bitter.
Blackballed and press and shit like that. I mean, Vivian, you didn't say that, but that's like part of what it is, I think, with a lot of these people. You have like contacts that are journalists, and if you get on the wrong side of them, then a lot of bad stories are going to come out about you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play the
I'm
game.
trying the BlackBerry one.
Wait,
That's really
journalists
good.
to elitists are two different things. Like, that's a conspiracy now.
No, it's not two different things.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
I'm
You think
sorry.
CNN texts the
friends.
DNC
Thank
like, hey,
you.
we got
I appreciate
Hillary
that.
coming out? You think that happens?
That's not what I said. I think these people rub out elbows at these events, and a lot of them are friendly, especially the more established ones.
Doobie
And
is
there's
a
been
vehement.
cases of this kind of
He
shit.
does
I mean, I
not
don't wanna
wear
get into it
condoms
right now,
during
but
sex.
Call it conspiracy.
And
Call me
he
a conspiracy
really
theorist.
won't
It
even
seems
date a
pretty-
chick that will make him wear
I
a
mean, who do
condom
you think
during
owns the
sex.
major newspaper
Like,
companies?
we had
It's
this
not
whole debate
Joe
over
Blogs
this
down
shit.
the
We had to
fucking
talk
road,
about
is
his
it?
dick for like 2 hours. So fuck Doobie.
So yeah, I think you're right about that to an extent. I think all I was saying is that, like, if you're going to be doing that, and that's a reasonable thing to do if you want to maintain your position and try to get change done.
Apparently, that frog
that's what you
does.
need to do.
He says he's
But I don't think
6'4"
it makes
and
any
built like a
sense to call this
brick
person
shit
who's
house.
kind of base revolutionary type. While
But who
she's
knows? Because
playing the
all
game
I
like
see is a frog.
I think it's kind of an overstatement.
She has to, though, right? She has to. She's being, and I think she's more based for compromising, right? Even with her, within,
She's
like, she
doing
was
what it
very
takes to
public
get this
at
shit
first, and
done.
then she started compromising. Like, we know that, like, she developed as a politician, and she's based for that.
That's a 5-head take.
See, can you understand, like, because I think my issue with it is that she's going to this event where a lot of these people are gonna probably be voting Democrat. They're like rich
In a real
liberal
life
types.
fight on
They probably
Minecraft.
follow her on Twitter. Know that she says tax rich shit on Twitter anyway. They fund her campaign, or not just her campaign, but a lot of Democrat campaigns, because these are the wealthy liberal elite types that you need to be friendly with to get your campain funded.
That's not true for AOC. AOC has small dollar. Like, that's how she raised her.
Off the top rope with the Bible beat down.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and accept that. But they fund a lot of liberal campaigns, right? Like Democrat campaigns.
Oh, you guys are live
especially in,
ones.
like, New York.
Holy shit.
Right? These are like the rich liberal elite types that the Republicans are always pissed off about. So I just don't buy that she needed to go and virtue signal there to them to get
They're
her
gonna
message
Roblox
across to
that,
them,
bro.
because they weren't going to talk to her otherwise. And I think that the thing that maybe I'm just better at PR than her, right? But I think that my idea, which would be like to say fuck you to the invitation, maybe send someone else in her place wearing the big fucking. Do you remember there's this really famous actor that
You should
won an
see
Emmy,
he can pull the
and then
frog's
he sent,
face
like, a Native
close to the
American
screen and he starts
to
doing
the
weird
Emmys
shit
to
with the
accept
mouth.
the Emmy
It's
for
so
him, and then she
fucking
gave, like, a big speech,
disturbing,
and that was a
dude.
really big
Oh
moment.
my
Right? She could
god.
have done
dude.
something like that, right? And then held a block party for normal people down the street, right? I think that would have been way better publicity. Got her
You do
message
know
out
that
way
she's
more.
done shit like that, though, right?
Why
You
did she
do
do
know
this?
she's already done shit like that.
Yeah, she done shit like that
She
before.
should have done it this time, because now she's getting all this bad press, being called disconnected and diluted. And
I mean,
Bad press is good press. All
Who's
press is
bad
good
press?
press.
Who's bad press?
Having been in the music industry, I loved every piece of press that I could ever get, even though I never made it anywhere. Like, shit, man, when my local papers would get pissed off about some of our shows or something, because we get graphic or like say some shit that pissed off the far right. Dude, I loved it. I'm like, I
maybe
relish
that's why you
it.
never
Give
made
me
it
some
anywhere.
bad press. Yeah, you know what? Maybe it was just I was a shitty singer. But I don't think the bad press was the problem that carried me.
Is it, like, good press? Like, Chris Brown beating up his girlfriends isn't good press. Like, no, that's not good.
Okay,
because,
cool.
Yeah, but AOC's dress is not beating somebody. Like, that's
I'm
a
not saying
huge
equivalent.
difference. That's a
No, I'm not
horrible
saying it's
rhetorical
equivalent to that, but
device.
You said any press is good press. It's just not true. No. You
Jesus,
can
Yeah,
get
that's-
mad press from doing an
I
event
think
like
that's a
this.
Yeah,
given, though. I
change
mean, we
his
can
name or-
fairly be
I
certain
think
that's
that's
a
a bit
given.
of a reach.
No, I'm not. Okay. So do you understand what I'm saying here? I'm not saying that statement in general.
Yeah,
is
you're being a
always correct.
pedant. That's
Okay.
that's what you're doing. Yeah.
But
Anyway, you know what? It's been real. Thank you for giving me such a lovely welcome. I think that's about enough for me. I'm gonna
Have
go
a good one.
relax.
Happy
Have
birthday.
fun.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Bye.
Happy birthday,
It's
Emmett.
not my fuck.
Happy
It's not my
birthday.
fucking birthday.
I'm so
Happy
glad that you're
birthday.
able to drink alcohol
Happy
legally now.
birthday.
Yeah.
Not
no,
my birthday for another
It's absolutely
3
birthday.
months. All right.
Okay.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
But so okay. This debate. Sorry. Fuck. I forgot exactly what I was gonna say. But so it wasn't about getting the message out to the people who were there at the Met Gala, right? Like, who the fuck cares? Like, what is like, and what does getting that message out to them even mean? That's like nothing. No, it's about the press she was going to get afterwards and getting out to the general public. That definitely wasn't the goal. Like, who cares a shit like what these rich motherfuckers think, right? No, instead she wanted to get it out to the people and draw attention to herself. One, to herself as a politician, and two, to her stances, right? Because this gets the press talking about her stances. Why would this woman, this particular politician, wear such a thing, right? Like if Hillary Clinton was there, Hillary Clinton would never have worn something like that. If you had going to put a message on there, it surely would not have been tax the rich, right? So like, it's a conversation starter, and it succeeded. So now I want to expand this to more than just this one dress, because I don't really give a shit about the dress. I don't care. But political sense in general. So, Doobie?
Well, I feel like we didn't address the fact that the dress is ugly anyway. Just like
The dress is not
separate.
ugly.
Ooh, no,
And you know
honestly
what?
true.
And
Thank you for saying
someone,
it.
I'm not gonna say who, but someone keeps DMing me to complain that I'm making fun of the fashion. All the fashion of these fucking events is hideous. No one would ever wear it.
Incredibly
Most of
wrong,
it is
but
garbage,
AOC's
but I
dress is
think her
ugly.
dress
That's all I
is
wanted to
hot.
say.
I think she looks great in it. She's a beautiful woman, and she's an intelligent woman, and she made the night. I think she made the night. That she made the best
All
part
those
of it.
statements are true.
None of us would have been talking about this shit.
Okay, and
Had it not been for her.
She looked
she's
good.
not an attractive woman either. Okay, just FYI.
Wow, Doobie.
Very wrong.
Doobie is
Wow,
just
come on,
literally.
Doobie. Stop lying,
So,
man.
so Doobie, I just want to know: is your vision like how bad is it?
It's totally
I-
bad.
Look, I like not fucking horses. Okay, like I'm sorry.
Oh,
So I understand. I
come
understand that you're
on.
very
Wow.
upset.
It doesn't look like a horse, bro. Stop doing
Okay,
that.
done. You're out of here, buddy.
yeah.
Doobie,
You've been
I don't think
ejected
I'm going to trust a
86th.
single thing you ever say.
Yeah.
Everything
Okay.
you say is now in question to me.
All right.
Like it
Well,
wasn't before.
yeah.
You've
Seriously,
been
anything,
invalidated.
especially anything
I have
visual.
good taste. Okay, I'm sorry.
So I just put it out there. This channel does not endorse that statement, or anything that comes out of DP's toad mouth. But we'll continue on. So I wanted to bring up two political stunts that happened. One, AOC again, and then two, completely different politicians. So one, AOC going down to the border.
Oh my god, that
And,
was so good.
When during
Content.
Trump's reign of terror, where we had those kids in cages. In fact, we still do, really. But where we
I'm not
had
telling
those
that.
people in really deplorable situations in deplorable facilities. There was a moment where AOC came down and she tried to get into one of these facilities and they wouldn't let her in. And she was stuck outside. She was they filmed her at a cage and like the fence.
I'm
fencing,
rolling up and
and she got
smoking.
highly upset and she
in
started,
Minecraft.
crying, because of the treatment, the presumable treatment of the people inside that facility. So, you could say that was a stunt. I mean, of course they're not going to let her in. I mean, if they're not pre-approved, they're not going to let you in. It's just not going to happen, right? Not into a detention facility. Not just let anyone in. But it got a lot of attention towards the subject matter at hand, being the plight of undocumented brothers and sisters trying to get across the border, trying to get refugee status or what have you. And so there's that. On the
Damn,
other
I
end of
can't
it, it's
talk
another
yet,
stunt.
and
It's
I
actually
so
very
want to say
similar.
something on that. I gotta like
And if I get the
write it
group
down, Jason.
wrong,
Write
I
it down.
apologize.
Write it
But
down.
like,
Write it down.
I know
Write it
Matt
down.
Gaetz was there.
Write it
I
down.
believe Marjorie Taylor Greene was there, and it might not have been Lauren Boebert. It might have been another male politician. I forget, but they're Republicans, right? And like the worst kind. So those three show up to a prison, right? A prison holding some of the January 6th riot detainees, and they're like, "Let us in. We gotta, want to talk to these people. They're political prisoners. Let us in." And there's like a whole thing with like the head, the prison chief or prison warden, comes down and is like, "Yeah, this is jail. You can't walk in a jail. We don't just let anyone in." Right? And
Bro,
they get highly upset. And then they're like, "Well, we're not leaving."
He brings his face in close and he starts
in, right?
like moving the tongue and shit.
There's like a
It's
an
gnarly.
antechamber
It's
before you
so
get into the
weird.
prison proper, right? Like two doors, like one of those security areas, like two security doors on either side. And that's where we're talking to them. I'm like, okay. The warden says, like, we'll let you in, but you're blocking this area. So why don't you just step outside for a moment, and then we'll grab you in a second. We'll pull you in. So they stepped outside, and then they locked the doors behind them. And they're like, "You're not coming back in," which is pretty fucking hilarious. But it's a thing from AOC and from Matt Gaetz and his crew, right? That they are bringing attention to these people. I would say AOC was actually sympathetic to those people in the detention center. I would say Matt Gaetz didn't give a shit.
Just a grifting motherfucker.
That's just my opinion there. Maybe you disagree. In any case, but it was like you can see these are essentially the same things. Do you think that looking at it through that lens, right, that mirror lens, that these things, that political sense, are useful? That was it right for AOC to go to that detention center? And then, if that's the case, then was it right for Gaetz to dick around in that jail? What do y'all think?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump on this real quick because number one, what AOC was doing was bringing attention to the plight of people who are hurting, trying to come into this country because of our empirical interests in other South American countries, such as Honduras, which we overthrew their democratically elected leader and caused a huge coup in that country, displacing several people. Then you want to go from there, and we're going to talk about, okay, so we're bringing these people up. Yes, that's one thing. Okay, and so she's playing to the plight of those people. Matt Gaetz and those guys were playing to the plight of people that actually tried to interfere in our government, tried to displace our government and our fundamental governmental way of operation. No, I don't think they're equitable. I don't think they're the same. I think one person was trying to do something for justice. The other person was trying to do something strictly for a political stunt. Do I think that political stunts can be useful overall? Yes, absolutely. But I think you have to gauge them based off of what their aim is.
I mostly agree with that, but I think almost all political stunts are fine as long as they're like they don't call for any types of violence or like really bad calls to action. Like January 6th, that's a clear and obvious violation of political stunts that have bad calls to action. But like what Matt Gaetz did, I would say it would be fine, but it would be to a degree. Like he can't have like, oh no, because of his stunt, a prisoner escaped. That would be drawing the line. Like him going there, knocking on the door, like saying, "Let me in, let me see these people." Fine, let him do it. Let him film it. AOC going to the thing, she knocks on it, she cries. Fine, she might have cried for real. Who knows? Both of them, like her stunt was probably more genuine than Matt Gaetz's, but like they're both fine.
Why didn't you just get the approval to tour the facility? As a sitting like whatever the fuck she is.
They actually tried. They tried for months. They did try to get approval. It was actually because of the Trump appointee that they were not able to get into those facilities. So yes, they did what they had to do. They wanted to make a scene because they, as sitting Congress people, couldn't even get into the facilities to evaluate it to determine how they should vote on the issues. And that's the problem.
Is it not okay for them not to make that scene? Wait, shouldn't like them as elected officials go out and make these scenes, these calls to action, these to get us motivated about the things happening in our country?
Especially
they
when-
got
I
to that?
think
Especially when the people in charge are-
I think the detention facilities were not as bad as people said they were, and I mean it's just like the sad reality of
Wait.
having people
Also, the
coming over
Matt
border
Gates thing isn't as bad
and-
as
and people
as-
not being willing to just send them back immediately. Now I don't like Matt Gates, so I'm not going to defend him. I actually didn't hear what Prem said he did because I fuck that
He
shit.
I think
But-
he pretty much did the same thing. He went to a detention facility. He said, "I want to see these types of people or they're in detention." Both of them were denied. They cried about it and took video camera.
It's just like shitty virtue signaling. But I mean, I guess if you draw attention, right, that's your goal.
Wait, shouldn't they
Draw
not
attention
somewhat
to the-
virtue signal or like cry foul when it's like it's
There's a
politically
difference
I think
between
you can- I
domestic
think you can
terrorists
draw-
and
I think
people
you can
trying to come
draw-
into this country because of American imperialism.
I mean,
I'm sorry, there's
invaders,
a
basically.
distinct difference.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, there's a difference between domestic terrorists and illegal invaders. Yeah. So I think that
Legal invaders that actually went
illegal.
through and were trying to go through the amnesty process and then were
That's not all
denied
of them.
before
No,
they
no,
got
no,
no.
there, held up
Coming over
at
illegally, that's not true.
camps prior to the border.
They're invaders, like in a game of Civilization. They're like the barbarian hordes, coming into our land and pillaging our stuff and taking
I mean,
our jobs.
I didn't
guys.
say it. I mean,
I forget
Dude,
we
are
were
you
talking
an
to a
anti-
monarchic
You said
frog
they're
that lays
invaders.
eggs.
wait, hold on. We
I'm
have
just trying to figure out what
laws that
invaders means.
well, it means that we have laws that govern who gets to come into our
No.
country. We've come up with
Invaders
these laws
means like
as
there's
a
an enemy.
society through our there are enemies, through our elected
Well,
representatives.
hold on. Are they coming for
hold
our
on,
freedom?
No, stop. They're choosing to violate our sovereignty, violate the laws that our elected representatives have put in place.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yeah, I call them illegal invaders. Yeah.
Oh no,
But why?
they're coming
So when
over
you
to work
say- so
jobs
what-
that our lazy asses won't work. Oh
That's-
my
that's
When
god,
you
I'm
say-
so.
when
I'm-
you say
I
that
mean,
is-
we
that
should
is
be
not true.
we should be
That is-
No, it's
threatened.
not true.
It's
That is
100%.
Wait, it doesn't
That
matter
is
what
so
we
Doobie,
call
bullshit.
Doobie, hold on,
That is so
Doobie, hold on,
bullshit.
Doobie. Right now, there's a shortage of workers because the coronavirus pandemic is making it so that people would rather not work a shitty ass fucking job that potentially they can get sick and die from. But you're saying that there's these magical jobs that pay even less that Americans are going to be willing to take. Is that your take here?
So the correct response, and I'm surprised that I have to lay this out for you. The correct response is not to bring in like an underclass of exploited workers. Right? The correct response is to make those jobs better, force employers to pay people better, to give people better benefits, and make them jobs that people can sustain themselves with. Right? But you guys don't want to do that. You just want to bring them to the underclass, exploit the fuck out of them. Right? That's your solution.
Nobody
Doobie,
wants to
Doobie,
exploit them. As a
Doobie.
matter of
Hold
fact,
on,
you want to give
hold
them
on,
the
let
avenue
me-
so that they can't be exploited.
Let
Because
me
right now they're
engage
coming
with
over
this- let me engage
illegally,
with this real
not
quick.
because they want to come over illegally, but because they're forced to come over illegally.
not
Because we
forced
don't
to come over
have
illegally.
proper immigration reform.
They're
And so they
not- they're
come
not
over
entitled to
illegally
position in this
and they
country.
work jobs in the U.S. and try to establish homes here. And then you know what? They can never petition anybody when their working situation goes awry. They can never do anything when they get fired
what?
for unjust reason. They can't do a goddamn thing. And you know whose fault it is? It's
Their
ours.
fault. No, it's their fault for coming here illegally in the first place.
No,
and
it's
putting
our
themselves
fault
in a
for
position where
exploiting
they can
their
be
countries and
exploited,
forcing them
where they
up
can be
here.
exploited by fucked up corporations. Okay, so that's their fuck up. Now, if they're pissed off
Well-
about how long it takes and how expensive it is to go through the legal process that we've set up,
The
for our
Monroe
representatives,
Doctrine caused
hey,
this. You
then hey,
know
then hey,
this.
then hey,
You're
go to
playing
another
a
country,
false
right?
argument.
Dude, let
This
me ask
isn't
you one
even
question.
reality because there's
The
already
Monroe Doctrine has done nothing
there's already
about this.
doctrine that dictates why they're doing this and why this is happening. And you
Dude,
know
can I
that.
ask you
And
one
you're
question?
you're playing a
wait.
very very like
I'm
black
telling
pilled
you the
role.
truth.
Yeah, like,
I'm
okay.
telling you the truth. If you want to call the truth black pilling, I mean, I guess that sounds a little racist. But what I'm telling you,
Okay,
the
so
reality is,
Doobie,
the reality is, we have a
You're a
sovereign nation.
frog.
Let's give Dan a chance. Go ahead.
So
And then,
guys, just maybe concerned about this. We talked about inflation, the amount of jobs that are not being taken because obviously they suck and they don't pay as much. But that would then give an opportunity to allow more immigration because these people from these countries, at least from the South or other places around the Middle East or South America would love to take those jobs in the United States, and to then will then stop the inflation crisis that's going on right now. And ideally, I would
Valencia.
suggest maybe we can
Okay,
make it
I wanna
easier to
join
allow
in here.
that to happen.
Valencia, can I ask you a question
Yeah.
really quickly, Valencia?
I,
So
I,
you're,
I
you're
want to
someone.
defend your point.
No,
I want
just,
to defend your
I'm
point.
gonna ask you a
Go ahead.
question. Then
Yeah.
So you're someone who would like to come to the United States someday as a citizen.
Wallah
I-
al-azim, yes.
I would love you to be a citizen of the United States, right? That'd be
I
beautiful.
love you too, Habibi, yes.
Do you want
I
to
would
come
love
over
be here.
and work in the fields, breaking your back in the hot sun for shit pay?
Thank you very much. Of course not. This is what I wanted to say. The actual thing that I don't believe I have to defend Dubi here, because actually going and taking these lower jobs is not our intent. We do it because we have to do it, right? We don't do it because we'd love to do it. This is absolutely lie. I came to Chile and I'm in the limbo of bureaucracy. I literally, my papers here are in shambles because my government isn't willing to give me like my papers and shit. So I am in limbo right now.
I don't
And
disagree with you,
the
though.
thing is,
You
let
gotta
me finish.
understand. I don't
Let
dis.
me
I
finish.
want
This
you
is-
guys
let
in
him
better
finish. Let him
jobs.
finish.
This is
Hey,
important.
he's been waiting. Go ahead.
This is important. So let me finish. So when I came here, the jobs that I have taken, literally the employers lied to me about because I couldn't speak Spanish the first time I came. Literally, they lied to me. There were bonuses that they didn't guarantee me, that I could have gone to the inspection of workers and I could have said, hey, this is happening to me, but I didn't know shit how the system works. So exploitation does happen, right? So this is like very important. However, like this is very important. However, like the thing with the illegal thing, I do not know about like the Mexican thing with America, but what I can say is you should probably just like legalize it and make it much more easier for them to come, right? This is the solution, not to just like say that being illegal or not is bad or not. Just make it very easy for people to immigrate. This is so important, right? So they do not get exploited, right?
Can I-
You having good papers is much better than having none.
Can
This
I
is like
respond
the
to
better
that?
solution for this.
Can I respond to
Yeah,
that?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that's the goal. That's the goal.
That's my goal.
That's the goal.
that's
that's
absolutely-
exactly the goal. It's Doobie that's fighting against that. That's saying they're invaders. They don't mean anything. I'm like, let's give them amnesty. Let's give them the opportunity to succeed. Let's give them the opportunity to go to school, get an education, do exactly whatever
It's
they need to
rhetoric.
do to succide.
It's rhetoric like Doobies that keeps us from being able to achieve that goal because by calling people invaders for coming here because they're dirt broke, they have no opportunities in their own country.
Yes.
There's gang
Exactly.
violence that's driving them out, or fucking terrorism, or whatever the fuck the situation is. Maybe their fucking currency is hyperinflating or some shit. You know, for whatever reason, they're fleeing to the United States, not invading, you fucking psychotic frog. Okay, like, dude, you need to have some perspective, dude. I get that you're
I'm bringing the
and that Larry Elder
frog
lost and
sentiment,
that you're really
anti-frog
sad today.
sentiment.
need
I
to
understand
respond.
that, but like, you know,
You also have to
cool it with
acknowledge
the
that
fucking
Doobie's a
invader talk,
nationalist.
you goddamn fascistic frog.
Yeah, I'm very anti-frog.
Doobie's a
Just so you know, I'm
nationalist,
very
so that- this is
anti-frog.
expected take
Go,
on.
go ahead,
I
Valence.
need to respond. Yes. Okay. So here is the thing. The invader thing. I said I do not know. If it's demeaning, if it's in English like very demeaning, then sure. If it's just to state illegality, then yeah, I think Doobie does have a point. But if it's just to state like demeaning these people, yeah, this is wrong. This is the first thing. The second thing that I wanted to state is like, I would love to go to America thanks to people like AOC, thanks to the liberals, thanks to the progressives, right? This is why I'd love to go to America, right? And because it's very facilitates it to like from diplomatic ways from Chile to America. Like that is so base. That's why I want to go to America, right? And the land of opportunity and all that, right? I love that. I love America in that sense. The thing is, this is actually a good measure for any country. It's how it's appealing to immigration, right? Like, and it's not just saying like it has open borders or not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that is it a good option to immigrate to, right? Whether it's hard or not to immigrate to, right? And when you have people who push against immigration in your country, it just makes it less appealing. This is what happens in America when there is like no free healthcare. This is like this is a negative, you know. that I have when I go to like if I want to go immigrate
See,
in
he's
America,
bringing the
I'd have to
face in
consider
closer. It
that,
gets
you know?
weird
It's
like
yeah,
that.
I won't have free health, you know.
Oh no, get that ugly face out of here.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
All right,
No, when
that's-
you're done, I'd like to respond to everything I said.
All right, can I respond after Doobie?
Okay, sure.
Well, if you're gonna disagree with me, I'd rather you do it right now. so
I'm going to take a
everybody
centrist,
can-
like a middle line approach. Like, yes, people are going to want to immigrate here, and they're going to always. There's no stopping immigration. Like you can see that, especially in Europe and throughout history. Especially a wall is not going to stop them. So we should make it easier for them to work here, and I think we should document them in some type of way. I don't think we should give them full citizenry and full access to welfare benefits, and we should give them some worker protections because they should be paid a minimum wage and everything. But like when people immigrate here, they're really poor. They're not well trained. They don't have education. So they are going to take those poor jobs. Some people who do immigrate here are those like super intelligent visa ones that Google and Apple pay for. Some of those are ones that have like 10 grad schools like papers. Some of those are that. But like a lot of people come here poor and not okay.
Not to look at it.
They shouldn't just sit here on the welfare state.
Doobie,
Go ahead,
ready
Doobie.
for that money shot again?
Okay, go ahead, Doobie.
That's kind of sexual harassing. I don't know about. I'm not sure to say things like that. So,
Oh, we love you.
where do I start? So you guys are pissed off at me using the word invader. I think maybe I'm a little more creative with my dictionary than you guys are. But if you guys were to look up the definition of invader, you'd find that it suits these people very well. They're encroaching upon our land. They're violating our laws. They're coming in large numbers. They're invading our country. That's the reality. I'm not saying that they're coming here to murder people or something. But the reality is
Invading
these
our
people-
country.
It's
they're
kind
gonna
of like
take our
saying
land.
that Native
that's not what that
Americans
means.
are invading our
Yeah,
country.
Google the
You
definition.
understand that, right?
Google the
Like
definition.
it's
Google the
kind of like
definition.
saying
You're
Native
right. Google
Americans
that.
are invading our
So
country.
I'm telling you that these people are coming here, violating our sovereignty. They're not invited. They're not people that we want here, really. They're coming here anyway, and yeah, they are doing damage to the people that live here. That's
But
the reality.
Valencia, first of all, I
no,
want
I'm not
Valencia
done.
The
more
amount
than
of stuff that
Hey,
can
you wanna
help.
respond?
I'm not done.
Shut up. Okay, so Doobie finish up, and then we'll let in Kobe.
Secondly, there's a third thing. Whatever. So I agree, right, that we probably should make it a little bit easier for people to come into the country legally. I think where we disagree is that I don't think people are owed a place in this country. There's that poem on the Statue of Liberty, right? Give us your poor, give us your tempest tossed, yearning to breathe free, yada yada. Bullshit. Fuck that, right? I don't want people coming here and immediately becoming leeches on the system, parasites, if you will, sucking up resources because we have benefits here that they don't have in their country. Right? I want people to come here who benefit the country overall. I think that's what I want, right? And I'm very in favor of immigration. I would love it if Valencia were an American, right? I would love it.
I love you.
be.
Okay.
Wait 1 second. My grandparents, right? So my grandparents on one side, my great grandparents on the other side, were immigrants. They came over legally from Mexico.
They should have been
Right, so-
stopped. That was the ultimate
so
fucking crime.
I don't have any issues with like immigration generally. I love immigration. It's fine when it's done legally. My issue is these people are literally violating our laws. Now, I'm someone that cares about sovereignty, that cares about what the rules that we put in place through our elected representatives. That care about law and order. They're violating these rules that we put in place, so they don't get to stay here. Right? I don't think that's like insane.
So
Okay, let's go to. Sorry, hold on. We're gonna go to Kobe. This is a day that we're meeting a whole bunch of new old friends. Excuse me. Miss you so much, Kobe. Haven't seen him in a while, but he's here. Stop by. He's a very busy man. Doing stuff like out there. Doing the whole capitalist thing because he's a filthy capitalist. So, Gibby, friend, who I really appreciate. Thanks for being here. And then after that, Dan.
Okay. It's wonderful being here.
Oh
As
shit, Kobe's here.
Okay? I got a new
He's gonna kill the
job,
whole argument.
Okay? I'm moving up in the world. Okay, I'm gonna be a bud tender. Okay, I'm gonna sell weed to people, and it's gonna be during the day, which I'm very excited about. And most importantly, I should have a set amount of days off, so I will be able to more coordinate more panel appearances.
I know I was
and all these
muted
kinds
for
of
that
things.
part. I was
So,
more saying it to you
I'm
guys
excited
because
about
there
this.
was
I'm
no
excited
way
for
I
the
was going to get
news.
that out
I've had
over
my camera
DB,
on,
and
okay.
Prime would have
I've had
stopped
to
me
kind of
before I
doll
even got the
myself
words
up a
out.
little bit. I'm going to be, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be slinging. We call it slinging green in the business. Slinging, selling, selling product. I got a haircut. I cut it off. I cut the mane. I've gone professional, and yeah. So I'm excited. I have one more.
You've allowed them to tame you. What the fuck's going on?
I know. I have one more week at the job I really don't like, and it's very hard. I feel like I'm like a senior in high school, and I'm trying to finish up all my last classes. But
Senioritis.
I'm very excited to start my new job, and I'll be able to come back on here. I've been off because I've been dealing with that, trying to get transferred over there. My mom is also starting a new job, and so
congratulations, Kobe.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Kobe.
Thank you.
I blew your face up on screen so everyone can
Good.
see.
Okay, wonderful.
But no, Kobe, guys, I have to say, in case you don't know, in case you're new to this community, Kobe has been especially kind to us.
He
right?
got a job in the
He's
cannabis industry, and
especially
he's
helpful.
super stoked about
he's
it.
a great mod here. Helps out a ton. He's done it for months and months and months. And so, like, when he wasn't around,
He
like
talks
my whole
fast,
world just like.
but if you
like,
pay
took a
attention,
bit,
you
like,
can
where
find
is
holes
Kobe?
in
Like,
some
he was
of
one
his
of the supports
perspectives.
of this channel.
Overall,
but, like,
though,
he's
he
out there,
really
taking
has some
care of
pretty good
business
takes,
as
or at least nuanced ones that are worth
excited that
examining.
you got a new
Even
job,
if
buddy.
you disagree with them, you can learn how to better your rhetoric from
Less
listening to
excited
him.
about the hair. Less excited there. But like I don't know. I'm just happy to see. I'm happy that you're like doing well.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you. And just
He
to
talks
comment on
like
the thing,
Ben Shapiro.
before, I
He's
probably
very
would've said, like,
fast.
let's let immigrants in. Borders are not really necessary. It's kind of like an old world thing. We can kind of deal with it. But now, I've like a little more, make more money. And like, fuck them. Okay, I'm one. Okay, I'm kicking the ladder. No, I'm joking. Continue on.
It's coming out now. It's coming. The money has changed him. The money has
that actually
changed.
happens,
No, just
The
kidding.
theoretical money
happens.
hasn't even started yet.
It's just the idea of it,
It's true though. Hey, look, I could be a billionaire one day. That's why I don't want to tax billionaires so much. Like I think about my future earnings that are getting taxed. Oh man.
In a way,
You'll never be
the poor are poor because they think of money as currency. The rich are rich because
Well, of
they see
course he
money as
does.
an investment.
That's the name of the
And
game, though.
taxes are a
That's
bad
where
investment,
you
because
come
if
in
you get
and
rich in the
say,
future,
no,
you're gonna have to pay
your
those bad
argument's
taxes.
invalid,
So really, you gotta
and
think like a rich person.
I already
okay?
showed
That's
you
why
why.
taxes and immigration are bad.
True.
So I realized I didn't respond to one of the quote unquote arguments put forward. There's like a misconception when it comes to illegal immigrants, that they are all doing like farm work and shit when they come to the country. That actually isn't true, right? There was I think it was Pew Research did a study on this a while back. They actually found that a lot of these people work in hospitality, they work in construction, they work in jobs where they make pretty decent money, right? They're not all on the farms picking grapes. And
It's skilled labor, but farming is skilled labor too, bro.
No, stop. So I guess you can call cleaning hotel rooms skilled labor, sure.
Could you do it for 8 hours a day?
I wouldn't, because I'm not a moron. So that's like a misconception.
You couldn't.
First off,
thing is, there is no option
but
for them.
the reality is that when they get to these jobs, they're competing with American citizens who are entitled to move in this
I
market.
see. He did that with me a
unimpeded,
couple times
right,
too.
to compete for those jobs. Yeah, they are competing with Americans. How else do they get these jobs
Okay,
in the
look
United
at
States where they're
much
not
of it,
supposed to be?
okay,
If they're not competing with
when we get to my
Americans, it's
turn, I'll
fucking ridiculous.
directly answer that.
Wait, hold on. We'll just go ahead, Dan. I'll take you out.
Yeah, so we'll go Dan, we'll go Kobe, then we'll go to H9 and Bill.
Can I jump in too?
And we're not exactly like.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't see much of these immigrants going like affecting computers negatively, becoming leeches. Yeah, you gave me a definition of invasion, but much of that effect is giving a negative effect on much of the people they come here, which I don't see much of that. There's so many places around my city where they're desperately asking for hands for jobs and whatnot. And I think given the perfect opportunity that a lot of people obviously who were in the economy and now had COVID and realize how terrible those jobs are, just willing people outside of the country that are willing to take them and continue the effort of propagating much of this economy. So I don't see much of that effort of obviously they're not like grape pickings or whatnot, and I understand that there's a large market of them being used in agricultural areas to like retake stocks of like onions and replanting them upon Georgia's soil and whatnot. And to that, I said that's fine. I want to have more opportunities for these people to come forth because we for sure need them. They're not like leeches. We're more of like Americans realize that much of these jobs are dumb, and giving the people an opportunity to who wants to take them and even are forced to, it's a much better environment than where they were before.
And by the way, when did farm work become unskilled labor? Like when on earth did that become unskilled labor?
We got a whole list of people. So Kobe is next.
Yeah, it seems like I gotta disagree here, Doobie. It seems like the jobs that immigrants, that illegal immigrants do, are typically stuff that, like you said, is housekeeping. It's stuff I would argue I really don't think that American citizens are going for. It seems like if you're a minimum wage worker, if you're trying to either enter the job market or you have no skills at all, you're doing stuff like Walmart, you're doing stuff like a cashier, you're doing stuff like Uber and these kind of things. Those, if you're a citizen, you have a driver's license, you can do these kinds of things. That's what it seems like. I'm sure there are some sectors like I do think that what's the group American citizens without college degrees are affected negatively by immigration. But I think that for most American citizens, I don't know. I feel like we're not competing for the same for the most part, not competing for the same jobs.
Can I respond to that real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
So I guess we can just use like the hotel housekeeper thing.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to find the Pew Research study where they dug all this stuff a while back. But I'll find it for you if you want to see it. But the average wage or salary of like a hotel like housekeeper, like one of these people just goes around cleaning rooms and shit. In California is about $30,000. That's not like, yeah, you can say, hey, that's not a lot of money for living in California, and that's true. Yeah. But a lot of people in California are making way less than that, doing much harder work, right? So, and these hotel housekeepers, to get those jobs, right, are competing with citizens. Citizens want these jobs. I don't think there's any evidence that citizens would not do the job.
What job is there?
Because they do. All these jobs aren't inhabited by legal immigrants. A lot of citizens do these jobs in California, across the country. They just wouldn't do it. Right, Kobe, you work at a hotel
for the next week. I work at a hotel. Okay, and the job that I have would not be the job that the housekeeper has, because the housekeeper can't speak darn English too well, right? I can speak English, but she can speak, but she's an American citizen, but she's doing housekeeping stuff, right? So she is a new immigrant, right? From Mexico. So it's like, again, like I feel like the people that are competing for her kind of job, like there are different jobs in these sectors, right? Housekeeping is a wide, there's a lot, or sorry, I should say hotels. There's a lot of different jobs there,
Wait, so you're assuming that because there are quote unquote a lot of different jobs in the hotel industry,
like some jobs are going to be
foreigners.
No,
illegal foreigners coming in and competing for those jobs and taking jobs that would otherwise.
What I'm saying is that some of the jobs in say housekeeping, or sorry, in say like hotels as like a job industry, some of the jobs are going to be more attuned to like people that have no college education coming in, don't have papers, or maybe illegal, something like being a housekeeper or being like back room in a hotel kitchen versus like
working at a restaurant.
Exactly, versus my job where I'm the front end, right? Like for in the restaurants, there's front end and back end. Back end is where you're typically going to have people that are either have no skills, have no experience, or have people that are illegal immigrants. So citizens. I would argue
ridiculous. Before you continue on, Wicked Supreme, thank you for the kindness. Thanks for the raid. Yeah, thank you for being so kind as to raid with 100. Look. Everyone, Wicked is blowing up.
He's one of the best streamers on the platform.
Yeah, definitely. Just like without a doubt. Boyo, thank you for the 7 months resub. That's awfully kind of you. But yeah, thank you, Wicked. He's been literally blowing up. I've seen his numbers. Just like everyone has apparently just now discovered Supreme, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing because he's a really kind individual, and he's been very helpful to me in the past. So I wish him all the I wish him all the luck. So thank you, Raiders, for coming in. You made a good choice, hanging out with Wicked Supreme. Hope you had a fantastic night. We're doing lots of things. First of all, we had We had an impromptu MRA debate at the start of the stream, followed by a libertarian debate with that was also sort of impromptu. And then now we're talking about, well, we were talking about AOC and political stunts. Now we've kind of moved on to like illegal or undocumented immigration. I'm not going to use Doobie's language, but undocumented immigration here in this country, and it's explosive as usual. If we do lots of stuff, we do 1v1s like we did earlier today. We do 2v2s, we do interviews, we do these open panels where all these members like USU talking at you at home sitting there. You can be a part of this. These are all just members of my audience who wandered in. Next, make sure to open in chat if you want to join in. If any of that interests you, any of that at all interests you, then do yourself a favor. Hit that follow button. In case you aren't following for some reason already, hit that follow button and make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live. Since it's 6 nights a week and I never miss a day so far. You have not missed a day of streaming, right? If you appreciate any of that at all, then hit that follow button right now. Okay, great. And thank you, Floppy Copier, for the 5 months resub. Awfully kind of you. Helps us out a ton. But yeah, I'm not sure if I missed anything from. I guess not. Just making sure. But look at thank you so much, seriously, for the kindness. And everyone, hit that follow button right now. Hit that follow button. Make sure notifications on so you know I'm going live. Okay, we can jump back into it.
I have a question for Doobie. Hold on. I have a question for Doobie. Go for it. I have a big question. It's going to take us away. Answer your question. You go first.
Well, I just wanted to say that I think it's kind of silly to keep speaking about these jobs as if well these are jobs that you don't get if you have a college education. When I mean I can only speak from my perspective here in California, right? 1 in 10 of our high school students don't graduate. Like I think it's like almost 20% of Black students don't graduate. Like 15% I think of Hispanic students don't graduate. Right. So these people need entry level work where they don't need a college education. So having a foreign labor coming in where that can be exploited and that you don't need to pay payroll taxes, you don't need to pay workers' comp, you don't need to give them any benefits. You can, if they fuck up, you can just get rid of them and they have no recourse, right? Having these people coming in and competing with our citizens, with those citizens who need the entry level work is really fucked.
Why limit immigration instead of addressing the problem of people not graduating?
Why couldn't
you
we
can do
also
both at the same time.
Hold on.
Not true.
Okay,
not
hold
true.
on.
You can do both at the
we
same
can do
time.
both at the same time. So hold on. I'll go to the thing I was going to say earlier. This is what I'm thinking. Why they're doing this in darn Africa? Okay, they're doing this in dang Europe. Why do we not have some sort of free trade movement zone where if you're a person who lives in Mexico City and there's a job that you could do for 6 months out of the year in California, you could legally do this and do this in a way that was more beneficial and more above the board. I feel like this would alleviate a lot of these problems. So we all agree that we should invest in education, which I'll agree. That on top of this, I don't know. I feel like we kind of undercut this whole problem. I feel like we have to admit that throughout all the Americas, not just especially South America, we got a bit of a border problem. Okay, a lot of places in South America have freaking like guerrilla armies fighting each other on these borders. Okay, we got a border problem. I think dealing with this all together is going to be a lot easier, especially between like America and Mexico. But that's my thought.
Okay, let's go to Ray, and then H9, Jason, and Valence. Okay.
Thank you.
So I guess I'm just kind of making a plea for sympathy, and maybe that doesn't matter because Doobie probably doesn't give a fuck. But I feel like, yeah, these are a lot of like unskilled labor jobs,
Dude,
like
he's so
specialized
gross.
unskilled labor that
He's
a lot of
so
people
gross.
don't necessarily go for. It's a
Oh
wide
my
market,
God, it's so
and yet
gross.
at the same time,
Get away from me.
these Mexican immigrants are
get
coming
away from
in
me.
illegally for the bare minimum that the U.S. has to offer, and under the most like dangerous of circumstances as time has gone on.
I can
as we've,
feel
like,
his
closed
frogness
off
like
entry
it's
points and
touching
like
my
routed
face.
Mexican immigration through the most like dangerous parts of America to like access, and especially like I mean we all kind of like know this, but if you guys haven't looked into the like archaeology of border crossing, there's actually like a lot of interesting stuff about how there's been like this construction of very, very harmful misconceptions in like Mexico and how that's affected their market when it comes to like preparing for border crossing. That has made the trek far more dangerous. The survivability of it is like insane, and we've seen that through like the bioarchaeology of the corpses that we find. it's really intense. And yet again, they're going for like the absolute bare minimum because the circumstances they have in Mexico is like even worse than what can be offered there. So I just noticed you're staring at me. That's awkward. But like, what do you like have to say to that? Like, honestly, like, do you just like not care? I'm confused.
Yeah, Mr. Frog.
Okay,
what do you have to say to that?
This is gonna be a really controversial opinion. I know. I care more about my people than I do about the people of Mexico. Right?
That's not even a hot take. That's not even a hot take.
It is apparently that's fascism to some people. And
it shouldn't be a hot take.
Wanting laws to regulate our border. Oh God, that's fascism too. You don't want people
It's
to come
not
illegally.
fascism.
God,
It's anti-humanitarianism.
I know. Okay, no. I have a lot of sympathy. I have a lot of sympathy.
My American people.
Yeah, I have a lot of sympathy for Americans who grew up in this really shitty system that we've got, the public school system, barely scrape through that, are going out and looking for work, trying to get out of the fucking ghetto, and everywhere they go, they're competing with illegal immigrants who are adults, who are older than them, that have more skills they brought over from when they came from Mexico.
I thought
No, I'm not done. Go ahead. They're being not only outcompeted in terms of credentials because they don't have any experience, right? When they're going for these entry level jobs, and these other people do because they've come from a country where they were able to get some experience, and on top of that, they are an exploited underclass that you don't need to get you don't pay payroll taxes for, you don't pay workers' comp for, you don't need to give any benefits or anything, right? Like, so you don't even need to pay them the minimum wage. Right, and there's nothing they can fucking do about it. They can say, "Oh, we got E-Verify or something," but a lot of you would oppose E-Verify. Don't lie to me. But even if we have that, a lot of these businesses, because they're corrupt as fuck, a lot of these construction companies and hotels that hire these people do not check. And even sometimes when they do check, these people literally steal the identities and social security numbers of Americans to get these jobs. Right, so they're hurting our people. I have sympathy and empathy for our people. Maybe you don't, right? Maybe you think we're all like global citizens and everybody, is the same to you. That's not the way I think. I'm sorry.
Doobie, if the GDP goes up, is that good for America? If American GDP goes up?
I think the country is worth. That's such a stupid question.
Yeah,
I think there's more. I think there's more to a nation than the increase in the GDP.
What was the unemployment before the COVID pandemic?
Though, right?
Wait.
I don't know. You seem to vacillate on that though.
Wait, I'm gonna break apart every one of his things. What was the unemployment rate before the COVID pandemic? It was extremely low. In California, it was under 4%. That is lower than you want, actually. So there's a massive amount. Yeah, there's a mass amount of people who can't find jobs, don't exist. Okay, and you know what? It seems like your problem. You want the laws that we kind of have, like that companies can't hire illegal workers. That's somewhat a law on the books. We don't really enforce it because, I don't know, we don't. So that seems like your main issue. And these companies can't just have like 100 people off the books. They have to pay payroll taxes. They have to pay these worker comps. You can't have a business that shows millions of dollars in profits or any like this revenue. You can't have all this revenue and not have any employees. You just can't have that. You will get audited by the IRS, and you will lose all your shit. This just doesn't happen on a wide scale like you're like concerned about. If you go in, all right, bye, Kobe. And I thought Kobe almost had it when he's like, we can solve this at two fronts, but he said some high school shit.
Okay, so everything you said was ridiculous. Because if it were true that these companies just aren't going to hire these people because the IRS is going to come after them, they're going to lose all their shit, they wouldn't be employed at the rates they are in agriculture, in hospitality, and in construction. Right? They're getting these jobs, and they're able to keep these jobs because we're not checking. Because the IRS
they supplement the labor supply. No. Where are all these people who can't find jobs in America? Time out. No, it's the same argument. Where are all these people who can't find jobs in America? Where was this unemployment record over 10%? Where was it?
Okay, so stop. Before we move on,
let him respond.
Can you agree that other point was stupid? Right? Because these people are being employed.
What point?
Okay, you said that, hey, if they hire these people, the IRS is going to come after them, and oh god, they're going to take apart your company. You're going to lose everything. These people are being employed at all these places, and they're keeping their employment because it's not being checked, because these companies aren't losing everything, right? So that's stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, if you want to move on, I'm
looking it up right now. How many people?
Okay, do your Google flow. I'm going to respond to the next stupid thing you said. So the next, the next thing, right, was people. Oh God, the unemployment rate was so low. It's because a lot of people are working multiple jobs because they can't sustain themselves.
Obi-Wan,
with
of
one
course
job.
we could tax them because we could make
people
them American
like you,
citizens or make them
people like you
worker
have,
visas that last longer than a freaking
encouraged
year,
illegals
so
to come
that
to this country,
my coworker
undermine
doesn't have
the
to spend
job
3
market,
months of the
which
year
allows employers
just
to
trying
keep
to get
wages
her visa
artificially
renewed,
low,
and instead she can
lets them
actually
keep
just do her
benefits
freaking
artificially low
job
because they don't
and
need to
save me
worry
from
about
getting
competing
backlogged
for
because the
workers.
stupid
Because they have
immigration
a steady
system
source
won't allow her
of
just to do her
undocumented
fucking
illegal
job
aliens,
because they
from
need to
down
make
south
sure
to
that
fill
she
their
hasn't
payroll. Right? So, like,
radicalized because she's
don't
from
give
a
me that
tiny town in freaking India that
all of
isn't
the
radicalized at all and has
most
no
of the
issues
problems
whatsoever.
that Doobie
Like,
seems to have with immigration could simply be solved by making it so that the amount of visas that we give out is a lot more. Because like a lot of the thing about the exploited underclass, as Doobie is putting it, and they are, that illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants, thank you, I don't want to use Doobie's verbiage, undocumented immigrants who come into this country
Call them aliens.
You know what, I swear to God, fight me, Doobie, you fucking frog. Anyway, they can they hold on. So they come here, but it's seasonal work. Like this is agriculture seasonal work. So they come, they work, they go back to the country. You know what I mean? Because that's they came here for a job. So we could increase that. That would level out that. So we also just want to allow more immigrants in anyway. I believe, because I think that just like with money, how money is free flowing in the market, labor should be free flowing as well. I think that's just better for everybody involved. So, but also, and just to address this one thing that you keep bringing up, which is people being hurt by immigration. Like, there's very little evidence, with the exception of high school dropouts, that anybody is hurt. In fact, everything that I've seen, it seems to point towards that immigrants are good for their local economies. They are not a drag on social resources. They're not allowed to get it. So it's like, how could they be? They're just a net benefit, and we need immigration. And
wait, can you say that with the exception of high school dropouts, nobody is
very
negatively impacted.
Which is a very
California.
Well, in accordance with the free market, that should be game on, right?
Hey,
Tough shit.
hold on. It's got to be Doobie and Captain Jones, even though he jumped in the front of the line. That's got to be Jason. Go ahead.
Well, this is my problem, right? Maybe this is like a fundamental disagreement we have. So you said, with the exception of high school dropouts, there's no evidence that people are being negatively impacted by illegal immigrants.
In fact, it's positive for everybody else.
Aliens, as I call them.
True.
And it's even positive
in California. That's 10% of our students drop out of high school. Right? That's 16% of Black students. I think 17% of Indigenous students. Right. So these are American. Dropping out of high school doesn't make you less than an American. These are still people that need to pay the bills. They need a way to get by. They need a way to lift themselves up. And I don't think that saying, oh, well, it's just the high school dropouts that are being hurt is good enough. No, I say, fuck that. These are Americans, and they're entitled to compete in this job market with other Americans without these foreigners coming in and undermining them.
Okay, but do you believe in the free market and personal accountability?
Yes, Jason's return.
No.
You don't believe in the free market and personal accountability?
Yeah, no to the first thing. I don't believe in free markets.
Do you believe in personal accountability?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so if you believe in personal accountability, right? And I already know we've talked, like, you don't seem to really favor any kind of social safety net. So
well, that's not true.
No, you do.
Yeah, I do. So
are you vacillating again? This is interesting. You're vacillating.
No, I've always said this. Maybe you haven't been paying attention because you're doing all that weed. But what I've said, right, is that
maybe it's all that beer you got. You're thinking different things.
No,
go ahead.
Because what I've said is that I favor UBI. I want universal health care. I could even favor like guaranteed housing, guaranteed jobs. I am very in favor of a safety net for Americans, right? I think that a nation should take care of its people, right? That's one of my core principles, right? I don't think it makes any sense for a country as wealthy as ours to have people barely scraping by. But because I care about personal accountability, I think these people who knowingly violated our laws should be kicked the fuck out of the country.
Well, don't you think that people who knowingly drop out of high school because they chose to make bad choices in school should be subject to what the market has to offer for them? And if they can't compete with an immigrant who's coming here with no credentials from this nation, that maybe the simple fact is they are just inept and unable to work in the workforce because simply they have somebody who is so incredibly lesser qualified than them and so incredibly lesser certified that those people can get the job, yet these people can't even seem to get that job from the same group, even at the same wage in a lot of times. So it seems to me that the argument has more to do with a nationalism perspective than what is actually rational and sensible for our economy or our governance. Like, it seems like you're more concerned with nationalism.
You guys talk about like empathy and shit. You have none for your own fucking neighbors, right? So like all these poor people you pretend to care about that are struggling and trying to get by. That
a lot of these poor people I care about are immigrants.
If you dropped out of high school, if you dropped out of high school because you had a shitty home situation because your teacher didn't give a shit about you and your school was underfunded.
I dropped out of high school and got a GED. So welcome to America.
So sorry.
And I suffered through that shit. You know what? I own it because that's what happens. That's called personal accountability.
About your neighbors, right? So yeah, you can say that, hey, all these immigrants are coming over with their sad stories, right? And again, I'm very in favor of legal immigration. Right? I'm not opposed to legal immigration. I'm actually in favor of making it easier to immigrate legally. But the reality is, right, to me anyway. So
but we haven't made it
again. Maybe
easier.
this is like a fundamental disagreement that we have, right? So maybe this is like again a fundamental disagreement maybe. But the least qualified American, right, to me, is more entitled to a job working as a housekeeper at a hotel than an immigrant who's been cleaning fucking hotel rooms for 50 years.
Okay,
right?
listen, Frog, you can shut up now because this is my time to talk anyways. But I appreciate
Americans,
that.
And they are
I appreciate that point. But that just goes to show that you don't care about equitability in our country. You don't care about equality in our country. All you care about is the fact that somebody says they're an American, and that's dog shit. Because we are a country of immigrants. Our foundation is based off of immigration. Everything that this country lives by is immigration. So by your rationale, if you're not an American and you're coming into this country, then by that circumstance, you're a second-class citizen.
Do you understand that there's a distinction between illegal and illegal immigrants? Or you just not
do you know how? Do you know that right now we have a bunch of people that are pending amnesty, and they can't get in, and they've got huge camps at the freaking border to deal with that?
Yeah, they should go back home. Fuck them. Right?
No, they should not, because they are following the protocols of the UN and they are following the protocols of our country, and we are obligated to do that. So no, you can't say that. If there are illegal immigrants coming across, the reason they are doing so is out of desperation because they can't get the amnesty because they're stuck at the freaking border in camps.
Well, okay,
I know, I've been there.
Why don't you make that same argument toward them? Hey, sorry, your country's fucked. You can't find work.
We fucked the country.
Well, that doesn't matter. Well, I guess you just can't compete in the country. You just can't compete in your economy. Sorry, fuck you. Why don't you make that argument to them? Why are you so callous toward your own people? It's fucked up.
Oh boy. Let's go to Valence.
That's such a backwards ass perspective.
Actually, yeah. Okay, so here's two things. The first thing, you say that you are for making it easy for them to become immigrants yesterday. Fuck them, you should go back. This is just contradicting. You shouldn't do that, right? It's either or in that sense, right? If you really want them to become easier for immigrants, you should be welcoming them actually, not just telling them, yeah, they should go fuck off, right? And the whole narrative of illegality, oh, they are aliens, oh, they are, as they say, invaders. I actually looked at the definition. It's to occupy or subjugate, so that's wrong.
Obi-Wan, holy shit, you just dropped the hammer right now. What the hell, bro?
It just doesn't.
I'm gonna read this.
It's not true, actually.
How does shitting on your doorstep do anything but build a pile of shit on your doorstep? Just because it's not in the house doesn't mean it doesn't affect the people in the house.
Read lower.
The only thing better than
It's
a
the
strong
highest-
and stable USA is a
With
strong and stable
intrusive
North
effect.
America.
What does
Thank you,
intrusive mean?
Jesus
I do
Christ.
not know what this
I know
It's
you-
not
English is
rocket
your first
science to
language. I love you
believe
very
that.
much.
Thank you
I
so
love you. I
much,
promise you,
Obi-Wan. You
know
said
words.
it.
I have the best words
Bring
in the
it.
fucking world. I know what the
do-
word means.
Okay, I do trust you. Okay, but here is the thing.
You have bad words. You're a frog. Shut up.
Causing disruption or annoyance
Sorry.
through. Okay, so through being unwelcome or uninvited. Okay, so here is the thing. If you want illegal immigration to be easier, you just basically make it easier for them rather than welcome them more rather than just being unwelcome to them, right? And calling them invaders and calling them, what is the other word? Aliens. You're not being welcome to them. You're just basically making this intrusivity a thing. And you claim to be like, yeah, we should make it easier for them to immigrate to our country and become Americans, right? Yeah, I think this is what I wanted to add mostly.
So
It's
I
just-
don't think that makes any sense because these people at the border typically are people that were caught attempting to come over the border illegally, and when they were caught, they made claims to amnesty. Right? That's my understanding. Right? If they're people with legitimate amnesty cases that they're filing, then hey, go through the process. That's fine. Right?
Most
Like,
of them are sitting at cages in Mexico, like on the opposite
if
side
you-
of our
no, no,
border,
no.
and not getting
Don't
the
do the
opportunity
cage
to
thing.
actually
Hold up.
fulfill that.
Don't do the cage thing. That's so stupid. You want to
No,
put
no,
in
no. Hold
hotels
on.
or something
If you, why are you claiming like you claim it?
He
to be
hasn't been to
illegitimate, right?
Mexico. He hasn't
And if
been
you
to
want
the
them
Arizona
to
border
legally
and seen
make it
this
easier
shit.
for
He
them
needs to
immigrate,
go see
just
it.
make it more legitimate, right? This is what you want, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Again, I agree
Then
with
why do
making
you
it-
call them
well,
invaders? then?
because they currently our laws are set up a certain way, right? So to come into this country legally, you need to do certain things. These people are choosing not to do those things. They're choosing to violate our laws, violate our sovereignty, violate the rules put in place by our democratically elected representatives. Right? And I know you guys love democracy so much, and they're saying, hey, sorry, I want to feed my kids or something. So I'm coming over anyway, right? And I'm sympathetic to that, right? I don't think they're bad people. I don't think they're like fucking like monsters or something, right? If I were in their position, I'd probably want to come over illegally too, right? Any means necessary to feed my family, right? To take care of my family. But the reality is,
Yeah,
when
make
they do
it
this,
easier for them. Don't call them invaders.
they
Go
are
ahead.
if they're
But your
choosing to come
rhetoric
over-
is what causes
if they're
those
choo-
policies
that's
to
not true.
perpetuate. Because when you
That
say
is not
things
true.
like invaders, when you say things like that, that triggers people to be enabled to encourage policies that are anti-immigrant. Like
It's
you are
actually the
straight up
opposite.
perpetuating the rhetoric that creates these anti-immigrant policies.
It's
Do you
actually
get
the
that?
opposite.
Fuck them.
No, it's actually the opposite. Your rhetoric and
When you call somebody an invader, you are
this
doing
quote-unquote-
just exactly
No,
that. You are
listen.
othering
They are-
a whole other
They are
populace.
others. They are others. They're not Americans. Like, of course, I'm othering them.
Like
So-
I
so
said,
when
then
you-
that's going
when you
to
please-
create an
when you-
anti-immigration,
Not
anti-immigrant
true.
ideology, and
That's not
therefore
true.
the ideas of creating an easier
when-
process towards immigration won't happen. You're perpetuating that.
Valence, were you done?
Yeah, sure. It's just
Okay.
Doobie, you're wrong. Okay.
Okay, then we'll go to Doobie. Sorry, excuse me, Dan. Then Janie and H9.
Yeah, since Doobie just wants to bring up his personal experience living in California as his basis of uses for his evidence, I'm going to bring facts and logic to this whole thing. I went over and looked at a bunch of other things, including the high school dropout stuff, and I've had actual evidence of immigration actually improving high school dropouts for real, and go around and saying all the other stuff that is negatively affecting our wages and whatnot. All the evidence I have, or at least I've seen, I'll literally post them up there, is exactly not true. And a lot of it's just astonishing of what this kind of fear mongering that's been going on here, because I understand, since you're like a nationalist and all, you want, I care about my own people getting the best over others because America is best, everyone else sucks and whatnot. But the problem to what I see now is that I have a problem of people like needing hands or jobs to anyone who needs it, and without that, much of the prices keep going up because of it. I went to my favorite pizza place, and this is just one of the reasons, and they had to raise their price of their cheese pizza because of the cheese being more expensive due to lack of labor. So a lot of this whole thing is like, oh, this is not true, no, not. It's completely horseshit. Like, there's a famous study with a Cuban immigration in Florida, not directly affecting the average wages in the area at all. It really improved your people's wages overall, but anything better, that it benefits all. So this is just, I find a lot of this whole entire demagoguery very ridiculous.
So I want to be clear about what you're saying. You're saying that um, the introduction of illegal immigrant students into our already underfunded public education system here in California, where 1 in 10 people don't graduate, and where schools need to tell kids to bring paper from home and bring pencils from home and this shit. And then bringing these people into that underfunded the education system actually improves the education system.
It says it in the statistics here.
Okay.
And he's just like, oh, just by personal experience. Like, I at least brought evidence to this.
Facts don't care about frogs' feelings.
What I feel about my people or whatnot.
Well, hold on. Well, that's okay. So that's the core of the issue. First off, I think.
Yeah, it's a core issue. I brought evidence, and you're just lying.
And I'm not lying to you. There's a fundamental disagreement about whether or
No,
not we should
not.
prioritize
I
our
gave you
people over
statistics, and
No,
you're
no,
wrong.
No, Dan.
I gave you statistics,
No, Dan.
and you're wrong. I literally gave you statistics.
He cannot subscribe to being wrong about anything because he's a monarchic frog.
Evidence that you were wrong, and you're not really establishing because a lot of this is based off of your personal experience.
You posted a study you read the abstract of, right? That nobody here is going to read through, right? You didn't bring evidence or facts and law. I can tell you.
You can't discount somebody's evidence if you're not willing to look at it, doobie. Like, Jesus, man.
So let him respond.
I can post many studies from the Center for Immigration. What was it? Center for Immigration Policy or some shit like that, where they find that illegal immigrants actually cost California specifically billions of dollars every year, and increased insurance rates, increased healthcare costs,
please bring it
in police costs, right? Because a lot of these people get into gangs because they're poor, and their children end up poor, and they end up getting into gangs like a lot of my fucking family did, right? So we can throw studies at each other all day. I promise you I can find more studies that say the opposite.
I doubt it. I can throw you probably
okay.
At least 5.
If you wanna try that, we can do that.
Promises.
Wait, can I respond to all his earlier stuff? Because I'm so glad you told me to Google this shit, bro. Because
wait. Yeah. So fine. First, Dan, finish your point.
It's good to be right and not have to sit here and fish for studies because you already know it because you've lived it and read it 1,000 times over to where you can quote the shit, and then people are sitting here like, but I don't care.
He was kind of doing the whole
shut the fuck up
internalizing thing when it came to the free will determinism debate. He was saying that when
pussy
it was
ass frog can't even put his face on camera. Chicken shit motherfucker.
He thought they were all responsible for their actions, but when it was an American, that was externalized to such as being in poverty, and that they were predetermined things that he could not change or they could not change, and therefore we need to take that into accountability while ignoring any of the potential external effects which has pushed people to come to this country in the first place as immigrants. If we don't address those things, it's kind of silly because Doobie's never going to have, his nationalist paradise that he wants, because people are going to keep immigrating here until we get to the bottom of the problem. You're not going to be able to control immigration. Okay, you need to find out why people are coming across, what economic strife, political strife they're in bordering countries, and take that into account to reduce. And I actually do believe in sensible immigration reform. I think it doesn't make sense to me to just have full free open borders, because realistically, unfortunately, the way budgets are kind of made, that would be very difficult to deal with.
Are you kidding? Do you know how much landmass we have?
Oh, I agree.
A lot.
There's a lot we could do. And I do think that, well, we say we, I don't live in the US, but this applies in the UK too. I think it makes sense to have more people come to the country, especially when we're in the midst of the Afghanistan refugee crisis. It's going to be hugely important that we do resettle these people in the US and in the UK and other Western countries, because we've been responsible in some part to why they've had to leave their country in the first place. And it seems to me that there are reasons why people are coming from Mexico and bordering countries in the US and for like South America, I guess. And some of that does seem to be due to long-standing U.S. policy. So until we address those issues, just saying, "Oh, well, we don't want more immigration," is not going to get to the crux of the issue.
Thank you so much.
That was a really
You're
stupid
welcome.
statement.
You're a stupid statement. How about that?
So true, so true.
That is
I
the
just
most
asked you
true
a
thing I've
question.
heard.
Wait, what's wrong with statesmen? I don't understand.
Okay. Go ahead. Ask him the question. New person.
Thank.
You talking to me?
No, the person who said I want to ask a question.
So I just came in kind of hearing about Doobie going off a little bit, and he said that these people are legally, they're violating the laws that are put in place. However, like I would do the same thing if I had to feed my family. So I just wanted to hear your response of like, what do you think that they should do? Like if you are somebody in Mexico who wants to immigrate, but you can't because the list is too long or whatever, what do you think they should do?
So I think that the correct way to handle that situation would probably be to stay in the country and to work to change
Die.
the country. Mexico
He wants you to stay in the country and die. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to stay in the country and die. He's fucking repulsive.
I think that actually allowing the kind of illegal immigration that we do in this country, let's say French citizenship like that, actually acts as like a pressure release valve for the Mexican government and other governments that because rather than like rather than
the frame of reference that I'm asking from, I'm not asking from like a global frame of reference. Like when you talk about these people, like they don't really give a fuck about you or I, right? Like they're looking at their circumstances. It's not going to be fixed in their lifetime. If the fucking like cartel or whatever is going to murder their family, they don't leave. Like, are you really going to tell these people that they should go fix Mexico and all the corruption that's going on? Like that seems a little bit insensitive, right?
Yeah, it's insensitive, sure. But I think that
it's not just insensitive; it's also impractical for those people, right?
I don't think so. I think if you having
you have to understand, he doesn't care.
What's the practicality for these?
He doesn't care.
Like,
care.
this is the argument. Like, what should these people practically do? Like, what should they do? What advice do you have?
So the idea that all these people are fleeing the country because they're all being targeted by the cartel, right? These hundreds of thousands. Of
I didn't say anything about all.
No, but that's the example you gave. That's the example you gave.
Where they can't get into the country. They don't. They're on the list, and they say they are being targeted by cartel, or say they can't feed their family, so there's disease, whatever's going on. I don't fucking know because I grew up in America. What do you think they should do? Like, do you really think is your answer really go change the government?
Yes.
Really? That's the best you have?
Yes. I'm sorry.
How unsatisfying that is.
I don't give a fuck.
I told you he doesn't care about anybody else but the people in his country.
I don't even know why you're in this discussion then, dude.
Look, my priority is my people, right? So yeah, they have really tough conditions in Mexico and other countries, really tough conditions in Afghanistan or Syria or Libya, whatever, right? My priority is my people, right? So anything that you would suggest that would hurt my people to support them, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say, hey, sorry, tough situation, not my problem, fuck off.
All right, let's go to.
I would say the same thing about trans people, by the way. If you don't like the gender binary, just fuck off. Just go somewhere else.
Well, you're transphobic. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah. Exactly. That's not sarcasm, by the way.
Okay, let's. So we'll go to H9 and then Lucas and then yeah.
All right, I'm gonna respond to Doobie just a second, but you guys got to stop making like
pleas
of like
take.
empathy to him. He's just gonna fucking hand wave it, say fuck you, get fucked. he doesn't care about these immigrants. You got to come out with them facts. All right. First of all, I've done some research. I'm so glad you told me to Google. I posted 2 links in voice chat. One by George W. Bush Institute that shows that immigration is a net positive for the economy, and also another link that shows the exact number of illegal immigrants working in the state of California. It is 7.5% of the labor market. That is extremely small. I want to know what like major force these people are having on like the lives. Like where is this like all these uneducated high school students like, oh my God, I'm jobless.
Blackberry, guys.
All these Mexicans are taking my job. Where is this happening?
Blackberry,
like where is like the struggles?
I'm going Blackberry
There
Black
is
Pills.
actual evidence to suggest that people without high school diplomas are affected by immigration.
Yes, there's some evidence that it does affect.
No. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that in the grand scheme of things, improving the economy through immigration, which is like a huge factor, is probably down the line going to impact that too. I don't have the data in front of me.
That's actually a short-term effect. When they come in here and take jobs immediately, that's a short-term effect. Their actual long-term effect is even greater than their short-term effect.
This is just undisputable,
really
by the way.
You mean like buying a home and paying property taxes and all that shit?
Okay.
And you know what? They're not usually they're not collecting on any
benefits. Be able to do that. Yeah, they're usually not paying taxes.
Wait. Sometimes they are. A lot of times they are.
Shut up.
They pay payroll taxes. They pay property taxes.
Jason,
they pay sales
don't do
tax.
that, Jason.
Sorry.
Knock it off. When I say shut up, I mean shut up to everyone. Thank you. Great. H9, finish.
Wait, Dewey was responding.
Okay, so I was gonna say they're usually not paying taxes, right? And when I say taxes, I mean like income taxes, property taxes. They pay sales taxes.
Where do they live? They live in an apartment or in the streets?
Listen, they pay sales taxes, right? Yeah, a lot of times they rent apartments. Yes.
All right, so they pay. So the landowner pays the property tax, or the landowner loses the property.
Okay, but again, especially here in California, the price of renting in California is really fucking insane. So having these people here renting a property is also really bad for Americans. But beyond that, I just want to be clear about something you said. So you said that it was almost 8%
that's not why
of labor force in California.
the housing market is bad for Americans in California.
Do you know how many
it's because of the McMansions that keep rezoning residential areas
in the state of California. Yes,
properties
where this is actually
giant McMansion
one of the highest
poorly built that they can't fucking sell.
Condensed populations of undocumented labor. So it's like nationally, it's 4.4%. So like. Extremely high, but nationally very low. Go ahead.
Yeah, that just seems it just seems strange to me that you would think that almost 10% of the labor force is like something to wave your hand at. That's really fucking weird.
Almost,
but yeah,
jumping 3.5%.
Yeah. So okay, I can find. Actually, I posted a study in chat. I told you guys that these studies exist to say immigration is a net negative. Right. So if we're gonna throw studies at each other, we can do this all day. Right, so I posted one in chat earlier. I'll post it again for you guys.
Well, you're the one that's bringing up studies in the first place.
Well, I'll post it again for you guys, right? And they break down. They break down. Yeah, I can find that in a bit. They break down. So to be clear, only lays out where they're working, right? So how many in agriculture, what other industries are in. So yeah, I can find that in a second. But yeah, they break down that these people are actually a net negative in terms of taxes. Like each one of these illegals carries a net tax deficit of $4,000 to $6,000 every year. That they cost like taxpayers across the country. This is after this. No,
they're including children. He's including children in this research. I'm sorry, I can't take it. It's including kids. Kids are negative for their 18 years.
Listen, after all the taxes and shit they pay, right? They're costing $454 million annually across the country. In California, the number is in the billions, right? So like, it just seems really.
Your study is so flawed, bro.
Now, if you want to talk,
Jesus, man.
Stop. Go ahead. Finish your point, Doobie. Then we got to go to Lucas.
Sure.
I'm
if you
muting
wanna talk about
myself
the children,
because
right,
I'm gonna
students
yell
are costing
like a
us
motherfucker.
$96
This dude is a
million
re.
annually. The illegal immigrant students, right? And this is in our already crumbling public schools that where our American students are having trouble getting by, right? So I just don't. My position again is that these people should not be inhabiting these spaces that Americans are entitled to, sucking up resources that should be going to Americans.
Okay. Lucas.
So yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
my
I
shit's
just wanted to
dead.
point out
I'm
that
having
this
to
idea that
actually
California
hit
schools
off a
are
banger, and I
underfunded,
haven't
this
done
is
that
like
for a while.
completely
So
untrue.
this one's gonna be
California has
harsh
one of
as
the most
hell.
highly, like most funded.
Can this count as two
school
dabs,
systems
Ode?
per student in the United States. California doesn't have an underfunding problem; they have a mismanaging problem. California, for example, California spends about $20,000 per student every year. And then when you look at other states like the state of Florida, they only use about $8,000 per student. Now Florida has a better school system than fucking California. Okay, California doesn't have this misfund. They have funding. They just don't know how to use it.
I'm not understanding what the point of that was. What was he trying to say? Do you guys get it? Not trying to be a jerk. I just. Is all the sound mute out? I can't hear anything. I'm coming back in. All right, let's see if I pull back in.
Was that an accident?
Well, my sound went out real quick, so it's back now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll send it.
Cool. Thank you.
Like, whatever. I don't know if you're talking about like Americans or like white people. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. If you're talking about Americans, something that always happens when a lot of immigrants move into like a location, right? The current locals, because they already have capital within that area, right? They have more power now, and they can grow their business more. They can invest more because now they have more customers to serve. This is one of the reasons China has had such a big boom. It's because they have like almost 3 times the amount of people the United States has. And even though they have like really crappy economic policies, they have a lot more buying power, and they have way more people.
Valency, go ahead.
Yes, okay, so Duby's study is bad. The fiscal burden of India is fatally flawed. I don't want to read this. I posted it twice on chat. It's just wrong. It inflates the money from 116 billion, which is actually the actual number is 3.3 billion, which is like 87% less to 97% less than the actual number that is actually given. So it's highly flawed. All economists who work on this subject have rejected your study. That's what I just wanted to add. So you don't actually have anything.
So to be clear, that's a
You're
libertarian
just
thing.
out of your ass, Habibi. Okay.
No,
Allah
okay.
al-Azim. I'm sorry.
Oh, they're libertarians.
No, wait one
That
second.
makes it
So
better.
now listen. So economists worked on that study. So sort of said that every economist that works in this field says the study's bad. That's ridiculous. What you're quoting is
rejected it. Yes.
What you're pointing to is the Cato Institute, which is a libertarian think tank that wants that wants totally open borders, right? And their criticisms, right, are ridiculous. Can you like recite the? Yeah, can you tell me what their specific criticisms were?
Yeah, sure. It says the first one was basically
the reason why is because he makes such horrible, objectively like horrible, like morally horrible arguments. Yeah, so he gets shit on quite a bit.
Millions of U.S. citizens as illegal immigrants, and by concocting, I don't know what that means, a method of estimating the fiscal cost that is rejected by all economists who are on the subject. So
how many illegal immigrants do you think they're estimating in the United States?
FAIR assumes there are 12.5 million illegal immigrants, over a million more than the organization estimates. FAIR is inconsistent. Here is the
because
number
you
of
can't be
illegal
wrong.
immigrants
It's part
that
of
they
being a
report on page
narcissistic frog.
35 is 12.6 million. POW estimates there are 11.3 million illegal immigrants. The Center of Migrants says that's 11 million. So yeah, it's a million more.
Okay, then why does the Brookings Institute and all these other organizations I can pull up say that they're 12 million?
Which one?
I mean, I can post some Brookings for you. I mean, these are all
Yeah,
estimates
that's my
because we don't
torch.
exactly know how many of these people are in the United States.
Yeah,
These are
the
here
average
illegally, and
analog.
they don't exactly announce themselves.
Sure. The next sentence is literally using the average number of illegals as estimated by PEW, CMS, and CIS instead of FAIR's numbers lowers their report estimated cost by 11.6 billion.
Why wouldn't they use the numbers from the Brookings Institute? That puts it at like 12 million.
Let me see.
Yeah, so it just seems like Cato cherry picked which estimate of illegal immigrants they want to go with, because there are ones that put it much higher, there are others that put it much lower, and so they cherry picked that one to say that if we go with this specific one, actually the cost is lower. No, it's their criticisms are
three estimates though. How
Yeah,
is that cherry picking?
They picked on the highest range for 3 estimates. Is what
yeah, they picked on literally the highest range.
Why would you not pick on the average rather than at the highest end of the range? Doesn't that seem like you're skewing the data?
No, I don't think that there's any
it
evidence
seems like it.
Well, that's because you literally are skewing the data.
No, because I don't think there's any evidence that you can point to show that FAIR was skewing the data or picking the highest estimate. This is their estimate.
So if this data was wrong, would you
what you think and what is empirically true is different.
Okay, even with the post that you've posted, it's not 12.6 million. It says here. So what are the numbers? As of January 2015, 11.96 million, and then most recent Pew research estimates puts the total number of unauthorized immigrants at 10.5 million in 2017. Overall, this minority of the foreign-born population, which in 2007 was 44.5 million, 45% are naturalized citizens, and 27% of that number are lawful permanent residents. So it's 13% of 44.5 million. I think that's nothing. It's
less than 5 million.
That cannot be that.
Yeah, I need to dig into that.
Yeah, sure.
Figure out exactly what
You're
the
full of
numbers
shit.
are.
Okay.
Well,
Listen. I need to dig into that because what you're doing is throwing a bunch of numbers out there. We don't know how these numbers are put together at all.
Yours are better than your numbers.
So no, listen. This is why. Hold on. This is why I had a problem with you guys just wanting to throw studies around, because there are a lot of studies on both sides of this argument. But I think there are. I think the actual disagreement here is something more fundamental. I think that if I could prove to you guys 1,000% that they were net negative to the economy, net negative to the country, that you guys would still say, hey, these people are poor, they're struggling, we should still let them in. We shouldn't turn them
Yes, I would.
Yeah, so this is.
So can I please hit on that?
I think
please?
the disagreement is much more
This is
your line
fundamental.
of questioning.
Oh, okay. Pause right there. Because we gotta get some business done. And we'll go to this proof that Doobie has in a moment. But if you are here and you are enjoying this channel, enjoying what we're doing here, enjoying these arguments, then hit that follow button. Once you know, I'm going live. I do 6 nights a week. Don't want you to miss out on any of the fine content that we're having here. But if you want to keep this going, I want to keep this channel alive, then we need your help. Sub to this channel. It is September. September, you could save 20% off on a new sub. You haven't subbed to the channel before, or gifting subs, also saving 20%. All to help out this community and all of the communities around Twitch. This is how we do this. You know,
this poor guy in the upper right has been sitting up there quiet the whole time.
Allowing me to come
I'm gonna
back,
shut up and let him talk for a minute
to make this happen. So let's try to start a hype train. Try it again. And see if we can make some progress this time. Thank you for 100 bits, Captain A. Jones. Check this up there, gotta let me know. He's helping out. He says for valency is absolute dunkage on the frog. Okay, fair enough. All right. I'll take it any way I can get it. All right. Oh, Diamond Hands Nair Socks strikes hard with 20 hot tier 1 gift subs to the channel, giving a total of 226 lifetime subs. Amazing. Amazing. Wow. That was beautiful. That was just beautiful. And then somewhere there must have been a third person here. I don't know what it was. And then Jason Society strikes, right? And what I like about Jason Society is that even though when I yell at him, he doesn't get mad. So a lot of people get mad when I yell at them, but he's fine. So he gets bored about it. So I'm gonna make sure you all know that. There was a third person. I'm sure I'm missing someone in this mix of names here. If there was another person who donated something, if I miss it, didn't pop up my feed. Like that literally just keeps happening, but it's not because I dislike you or something. But thank you. If excuse me, a fourth person donated as well. But anyway, Jason Society, thank you for another 10 out 1 gift subs, making 18 lifetime subs to this community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, well, in a split second, we are at a level 4 high train, 49% done, 1% left. Can we get? Can we get to a level 5 hype train? Can we get to level 5 hype train? Is that a possibility? Can we actually fully pay for this stream, right? And remember, of course, we gave you those 2 debates, right, earlier today. The MRA debate. Thank you, Dancegram, for 100 bits. Donate, yes, donate, please. Thank you so much.
I always sort of love that, guys.
Oh, yes, Still Team Raz, of course, is
I got it to spread around. I am a socialist, and so the extra money that I do have, I give back to a lot of
so we started off the stream
the other
2
folks that are
1v1
streamers
debates.
and shit, because
the
I feel
MRA
like
debate,
that's the right thing to do.
Which, well,
especially the ones that are giving me a platform, you know?
But that was because, you
I
know,
got no qualms about that shit.
the first person he was going to talk to disappeared, immediately quit within seconds of coming onto the channel. That's the thing that happens apparently sometimes. That's fun. And then after that, we had our libertarian debate, which was really lively, really amazing. We had Scott from Fabian Liberty on, and then we rolled onto Open Walk On panel, which is what you're seeing here. Right, with the individuals that we've gathered.
Thank
These
you,
are
Casey
all
Jana.
random
You're a
people
base too.
from the audience who decide they want to be a part of it. You can be a part of it too, as well. Right, this is what you're supporting when you send us, when you donate to the channel. So we're at 50% done of level 4 hype train, 50% left. 2.5 minutes.
What? Really quickly. So I've noticed a lot of people in chat complaining that I was calling these people aliens and yada yada, right? So it's dehumanizing, it's fascism, whatever. If you guys complete the hype train, I'll stop calling them aliens. I'm still going to call them invaders, but I'll stop using the A word if you guys complete the hype train.
It's okay. We're just going to keep calling you Toad.
Wait, hold on. No, really quickly. So if you guys actually give a fuck about these people and how they're being dehumanized by me calling them aliens, you'll complete the hype train.
Oh, well.
Damn.
There you go.
It's on you, chap.
The gauntlet has been laid. We have a level and a half to complete, and then we'll stop using that. And we'll even give you some bonus time here. Like I'll stay a little longer than usual. But you gotta complete the hype train. Help us out. How do you do that? You sub to the channel. If you're not subbed already, right? Remember, 20% off of new subs. 20% off. So now's the time. To support this community that's always out here for you. 100 bits more from Dancegram. Thank you. Putting at 51%, 49% left. Thank you. So Dancegram is doing his part. Thank you so much. Dancegram cares about the Friday Living also cares because Friday Living has dropped 5 hot tier 1 gift subs to the channel. Thank you so much. And then was that that was I guess 5 altogether. Thank you
I just
so
gotta
much.
say really quickly. So I'm going to make a prediction. They're not going to complete the hype train because these people are virtue signaling pricks. They don't actually give a fuck about immigrants, right? They just want to say they give a fuck about immigrants while they live in fucking Maine or something and don't need to deal with the negative impact. So I'm predicting that at the end of this, I'm going to keep calling them aliens.
Wait, where do you
live? You're making a bad move go worse.
What's the word you won't say anymore?
I'll stop calling them aliens if they complete the hype train.
There you go.
Taking L's. Yeah. Hey, I'll take the motivation any way I can get it. Taking L's, who's gifted a sub. Thank you, 13 subs in total lifetime. Thank you for your kindness. Followed by Nair Sox, Diamond Hands Nair Sox, we call him, because Diamond Hands has a habit of gifting subs to people who end up subbing themselves in the future, or continuing the subs or gifting subs themselves. Diamond Hands is very good at that. Thank you, Diamond Hands, for gifting bits. Usually as a sub gifter. But yeah. So we are
prove
at
me wrong.
Bro, I can't concentrate with that.
I am really not okay. Please,
Zooming
please
in.
stop.
Oh, I
are
hate it.
Stop
at
that.
a
Oh,
level
stop!
5.
Stop!
We are at level 5 hype train. Look, we're getting close, right? You want GB to be slightly more respectful. Then you know what to do. We are 2% into a level 5 hype train. 98% left. 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Can we get to a maximized hype train, right? And remember, at the end of that, QB will be slightly less asshole-ish to our brown brothers and sisters out there. And, you know, he is brown too, like, just so you know, like, he's actually a brown human being, like in real life.
Right, that
but
doesn't matter though.
it doesn't stop him. No, it doesn't stop him. But you can stop
Where
him.
does brown start? Wait, never mind. Never mind.
All
Thank
brown
you,
panel win.
Astral Storm, for gifting 100 bits. He says, sure, why not? Putting us at 3%. Hey, we're moving along. 97% left. Remember, it is September, right? So if you haven't subbed to this channel looking for a time to support, right? Well, now's the time. And you get a bonus gift at the end, which again is a slightly less astral Stubby, right? Of course, you also get our access to the exclusive hype train emotes. You can only get those emotes when you hop out a hype train. Astral Storm will get those emotes. You should get those emotes too. All right, we have 2.5 minutes left on the clock. How do you help with this hype train? Again, sub to the channel. Or gift bits like Astral Storm just did, or gift subs like Taken L's, Friday Living, Jason Society, and our good friend Diamond Hands Nair Sox, striking hard. Look, almost there, right? Remember, when you're gifting subs, 20% off, 20% off. You are supporting this open panel, right? You're supporting all the things that we're doing here. Us being able to come back night after night, being able to come back. And where do I get the patience, or where do I draw strength from?
What's y'all doing?
All
I
this
see some
bullshit
people
asking
popping
about
in.
that. I get it from subs.
Thanks for
I get it
popping in.
from subs. So if you want to give me strength, like Hani
to follow,
Feed
take a
there,
dab.
gifting
I'm
2
pretty
hot
simple.
gift subs. Hani cares about the immigrants, so do you care? Putting us at 13%.
I'm in the debate panel. I'm in the center.
97%
on
left.
the
Sorry,
second
87%
left.
87% left. Can we get to a maximum hype train, right? Honey Phoebe, which is your first
That's
two
me,
subs.
by the way.
Yeah,
That's me, by the
exactly.
way.
Yeah, valency. Honey Phoebe, who this is the first 2 gifts to the channel. Thank you. We always want to thank an initial investment to the community. Thank you. Always got to point that out. Head for Hydra also cares about immigrants. Apparently, not many other people do, though. Head for Hydra, thank you for gifting a sub. 4 subs lifetime to the channel. Thank you. We're at 18%. 18%. Can
Let's
we
crack
get
lacking.
to a maximum hype train? The pressure is
Yeah,
on.
I know. I'm
right?
old school
That's
head.
all
I
to
say,
you, all
I
to
say
you, right?
crazy
You have
shit
the
like
opportunity
that.
to make it happen. We have a minute left. Minute left in clock. But we're almost there. So again, if you care about the immigrants, or you just care about this
that
channel,
like
you care about what
tacky
we're trying to build here,
sliminess of
care
the
about this
skin.
space, right? Now's the
Like
time.
he's
Now's the time,
breathing on me.
to assist us.
It's making my
right?
skin crawl.
So we have less than a minute left. Less than a minute left in the clock.
I did
And
not consent to this.
82% left. 82% left. Can we get to a maximum hype train? Oh wow, you are literally gonna.
I'm telling you, they're gonna prove me right. They don't give a fuck. They can't give up 1 cup of Starbucks shitty coffee for me, like stopping, like dehumanizing the
I don't
immigrant.
want to see your
That is
fucking
the
toad
truth.
face.
Hey,
It's
my
the
viewers
truth,
did not consent to this,
slimy
okay,
green
Doobie?
skin.
They did
I'm
not
happy.
consent to this.
I'm happy with this.
I like the watered down Destiny talking points, by the way. It's really
I'm
fun.
using this break to chug my second beer. I'm very happy with this. I just want to
Second?
say, yeah, I'm
You're ruining my breakfast.
This
I'm a
is you
lightweight,
have your
okay?
1 beer?
I'm a lightweight. Leave me alone.
Wait, that's not lightweight.
He's
that's
a nationalist fascist after 1 beer.
So, Doobie, as oftentimes he has proven right about human, about human nature. And we did not make it, so aliens it is here. But thank you for the people who are kind enough to support the channel. Hey, you are the ones who are powering this community. You are the reason why I can come back again and again. Oh man, this is escalating. Again and again to provide you with this content. Right? I can't do it without you guys. I have to do something
You
else.
see this shit? You see
I
this?
just want to give a PSA here that like lying about alcohol consumption is one of the first indicators of an issue. Okay,
so
everyone out there, if you're lying there, just get check yourself in. Okay.
Dancegram strikes with 5 hot tail and gift subs. Thank you, Dancegram. Like Dancegram once again cared. That wouldn't have put us at a maximum hype train. But it would have put us much closer. Thank you, Dancegram.
They care about immigrants. That's true.
They do care. So I just got to thank our
Being
top 5
the freak
donors.
of the week. That's what the frog is doing.
For helping there as well.
Frog.
And for the people who donated this time, Dancegram, Honey Thebe, Astral Storm, Naira Socks donated a lot.
Mike used to trigger shit.
Friday Living, Jason Society donated a whole bunch. Captain A. Jones, as always, striking at the very beginning.
But I think
right?
he passed
Doesn't
out.
wait for anything. Always there to support. Thank you, Captain A. Jones, for your endless kindness to this channel. All right. And our top 5 gifters are Leah at the top, number 1, 100 subs. Thank you. We call you channel queen for a reason. Thank you so much, Leah.
My mouth is going away.
Zonia, dead or alive.
I'm a little too
with
buzzed to be
50,
singing.
Subs. Boji out there. And
I had to take an old school dab because all
38
my
subs. Doobie, with 35
electro
subs.
dabs were
Doobie,
dead, so I had to like use
you
my
should too.
torch.
Nice.
Oh, I don't like doing it that
well,
way
and then
because
in terms of our
I feel
bit
so
donations,
like weird
Leah at the top.
crackheady.
Again, of course, this is why we call it channel queen. 35,000 bits to the
Thing
channel.
is
Nick P.
one of
Brett,
those is like
next
equal to
with
like
9,000 bits. Thank you, Nick.
3 off like the G pen or the
30,000. No, excuse me.
That shit rock your
3,000
world.
just today. Yep. Hans of Harkir with 5,000 bits. Rockets Net with 2,500
Oh,
bits.
hell yeah.
And a Zazzle Bedazzle.
I'm so happy for you,
with
son.
2021 bits. Those are our top
I knew
5
they'd come back.
gifters.
Your shit, your
every
content's
single
good. I
time.
like
You
your
gotta
layout
shout 'em
and
out.
shit on
Gotta
your
make them know that they're
streams
loved
too. It
because
looks good.
I don't do this without them. This all ends. I go home. Well, I am home, but I do another job from my room. If it wasn't for them, so thank you so much. All right, Doobie, it's your turn, and of course you can use any language that you want as long as it's TOS. So go ahead.
Well, okay, I had to go back to hell because I'm totally blackpilled on the conviction of your audience now. So all these people complaining that I'm dehumanizing these people to Nazi talking points. Oh God, how dare you say the aliens? I couldn't even give up Starbucks to keep me from saying it. These are aliens. These are illegal aliens. And I don't want them in this fucking country. And like I said earlier, I think that
he's wretched.
He's way more fundamental.
Freaking wretched, man. He is so wretched.
And I think
he
that,
is so
Mr.
wretched.
What's your fucking name? Nasdaq. It's an interesting name. Is it nodding? Right. I think it is. Right? Because I can tell you, I'm being totally honest. If you could tell me that like
human being.
having illegals in here
so
undermining Americans boosted the economy by 5%, I say that fuck you, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. Right? It's way more fundamental than economics, right? And I think we should like focus on that. Mr. Nasdaq, your hair is beautiful, and I love you, by the way.
I think it's a real contradiction that somebody who's not a human can talk about dehumanizing others.
He's walked back a lot from where he began, though.
I have like
it's actually not dehumanizing if it's a frog. If it's a frog making the mistake.
So sorry. What?
I still don't want these aliens in the country.
The fundamental disagreement was maybe I missed it. I apologize.
I believe.
I have a question.
I believe that.
We're on the same page. Doobie and I are on the same page. I like question.
Oh my god! I just want to hear what he finished saying, and then we can go to the rest of you. I want to hear what you all have to say. But Doobie, what is that fundamental disagreement once again, please?
So I got to warn you really quickly. I'm on my 2nd and 1/4 beer, and I chugged the second one, and I'm kind of a lightweight, so it's bad. Okay, but the fundamental disagreement, right, is I believe that Americans
I think he's full of shit.
have more rights, more protections, more everything than non-Americans, right? Just by virtue of being Americans, right? And
This is true.
Like,
By the way, thanks for that, son. I was so happy to be able to use that.
So I think that's a fundamental disagreement.
Okay,
It's recorded on stream and it'll be on VOD. So
NASDAQ and then Lucas.
you have your
Okay,
credit
so,
for
like,
sure.
I mean, I would just ask, like, why? Like, straight up, like, why?
So for me personally, right? Like, this is like me personally. That's like a.
Obviously, we're gonna need some back and forth here, so please, like, let us have it.
So for me, you can call it selfish, right? Like, I care about myself first. So I can extend, and because I care about myself first, I care about the people close to me, making sure that they are doing well. Because if they're doing well, they're not going to fuck with me, right? and then kind of extend it to the neighbors, the city, my family, the town, the state, the country. Right? That's what I care about, right? So I want people in my country, my people, to be doing better, and I think that like. I shouldn't have talked about second pair. I think that because they
Was
are
it really his
because
second
they're citizens,
though?
and because we have agreed that
Was it really?
American citizens are due certain rights and protections, right? Just by virtue of being American citizens. Because I think that means something. I don't think it's a simple, oh God, you're a citizen, whatever. I think that means something, right? I think it means something to be an American citizen. I think it's like a spiritual thing, to me anyway.
He's a total nationalist.
I think that we need to respect that, and I think that a lot of you guys kind of dismiss the citizenship thing in the the fact of being American, that status.
Okay, so I think I understand that, and I think I have like a good response to that. So, the first thing I would say would be is that if you're gonna tell me that you just happen to just only care about the people around you, then that's an axiom that nobody can argue with, right?
The claws are actually not horrible. Like,
so there's really nothing to talk about.
I don't know if I'd buy them on the regular, but
I care about. No, I understand. You have 2 points here. I wrote them down. So you care about people who are close to you. That sounds like an axiom.
Maybe one
right?
of the flavors I could find.
Yeah.
And then you just reiterated the same thing, which was because they're citizens, I think that means something. And I'll just ask you the same question. Why?
So
and if you're going to respond to me back
dude,
with because they're close to me,
homie.
again, that's an axiom that we can't argue with. So, like, do you have any compelling arguments?
No, it's not just
apparently.
because
Yeah, so why?
I think
to frogs.
So I'm the child of first generation immigrants, and I think that
I'm just gonna say, like, I don't care about like your personal story.
Well,
I'd rather just hear like, actual arguments.
You're asking me why I think something, right? And I'm trying to be honest with you about why I think something. So
I'm asking in the context of like an actual.
I think that I really bought into the idea that being an American is like, how do I even explain this? It's not just a legal status, right? It's out of
being American is like a spiritual identity, right? It's part of it's an important clan that you're a part of that everybody needs to be
my
bought into,
tribe,
and that is
and
part
I
of what
love
makes
my
it
tribe,
work, right? Yes, that's what you're talking about, right?
He's psychotic.
Why do you think that is more? Why do you think that we need a national identity in order to have that? That's what I'm asking you. Why do you think?
Can I just check?
people
Are we
like
starting
born here
clan with a
somehow are
C
more-
or a K?
Am I really
That's what
getting
we need
interrupted
to
here?
check here.
Well, listen,
Yes.
Why do we think that people who are born here are like more entitled to that identity than other people? That's what I'm asking you.
It's not just people that are born here. I think that people that immigrate legally and follow our rules and become legal citizens.
Yeah, but you
right?
understand that like that's
they-
not just a matter of filing paperwork, right? That's literally just luck.
I don't think that's.
Yeah, it is because depending on where you're born, you may be put on a wait list that's like way higher. Depending on your IQ, which again is luck, you may be put on, or sorry, not IQ, but like education status, all of that kind of stuff. Like what is the philosophical underpinning that is making you say that these people who are
What
born
crazy
here are like
motherfucker.
somehow part of this clan? Why does this matter to you? That's my question.
Well, again, I think this is why I called it like a spiritual thing, right? So like, I'm not a religious person, but but I would equate my love for America and its people with a sort of religion, right? I think that I really care about my country and my people. Right, and
what's
so
the purpose
whether
of using
whether
this analogy here? I don't understand.
There's a
trying to connect
really
the dots.
dirty
if you
word
let me-
for what
let
you're
me finish.
talking about.
So if there are situations where, I need to like, my people need to suffer a little bit to benefit some other people that also care about their own people. By the way, this isn't like me, right? This is something that's very common in humans. People are tribal.
Okay, I understand. I'm not going to take
so-
more time, but I'll just like kind of get to the point here. So I would personally, I would care more about like.
Oh, he says it
maybe
in
deciding
dirty
about
water,
people
man. I
depending
don't
on if they
like
wanna
that
get vaccinated for
conversation.
COVID,
I
or,
mean,
like,
he's
maybe
like bordering on
their
like
IQ, or
nationalism
maybe,
and
like,
shit. Like we're, I
how,
mean, well, he
maybe their
says he's a
wealth or things like
nationalist,
this.
but like
I don't
he's
personally
at the
care
point
about
of
who
like
happens
this
to
is
be
like
born here. That's
Their
just
IQ.
not something that I've ever cared about. I don't have this
Right.
idea that like certain people who are born here have more of a right to be here than others. So
kind
that's why
of
I'm asking you,
ethnogenicism
like, why does
type
it matter?
shit
And if
or
you're just going to
something.
tell me what you've said like 4 times now, that it's a religious,
And he's
spiritual
a
feeling of
frog.
American, and like the fact that people are born here makes you feel like people are a part of your family, well then, okay, dude, like I hear that, but honestly, that's a stupid argument that most people are not going to be convinced by.
Wait, what is stupid argument? I welcome
I'm
if
looking
you
at
don't
this
mind. I
right
want to
now.
interject here. The national identity isn't just like a spiritual thing. It's also very logical, right? Like in the sense that the American identity in specific is actually very necessary, right? As it is the most homogeneous, I think is the word, and most powerful state there is. I know people happen to be here, but the sense of belonging is very necessary. I was born an immigrant, and I immigrated, and always immigrant. And there is a void in me because I have lacked this sense of belonging, which I need like to feel.
We need
I
to
think
get over that. We need to, as people, we need
you
to
need to get
understand that
over
like, we are
that is
global
you
citizens.
need
I
to
think
get
that's
over that.
stupid. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I think you should get over that.
If you let me
You're in a
finish.
fucking American just as much as anybody else is.
Whoa. Excuse me. Let Bailey finish it, then we gotta go Lucas, who's
Okay,
waiting patiently.
sure. If this like get over it, exactly. America gives you an opportunity to do that. That's why I think Doobie is actually pro-immigration in that sense, right? And like he spoke of his parents, because and I love Chile for that, by the way, because it gives you the possibility to become a citizen of part of it and fulfill this sense of belonging that I'm pretty sure Doobie is trying to describe. I think the national identity is something that actually fills that in a great necessity. I think even if we are looking for a global homogeneous society, human society, it has to start with nationality. It doesn't start with just like destroying all borders. I think a nation like America, amazing country, if it starts opening its borders more and more and more, it can actually become in that identity, because America actually does fulfill the sense of belonging that many people like myself who are immigrants actually seek. So
Yeah,
I
and if we had
actually
open
very
borders, then
sympathize
we would contribute to that happening faster. If we had open borders, that would happen faster.
Oh, okay,
great. Sure. That exactly, yeah. Basically.
So we're on the same page here. So I don't understand the argument against it.
Sure. I don't think anyone is against it. Neither do we is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go to.
Also, I just want to say there's an anti-vaxxer and chat
Oh,
right here.
whoa, excuse me.
Anti-vax alert.
Oh, whoa, I'm sorry. Are you talking over me?
Anti-vax alert.
Holy shit, are you doing that? Are you actually
Anti-vax
talking?
though?
Okay, all right, hold on. I'm gonna have to mute you. If you can't like fucking, do you not get that? Like when I'm fucking talking, you're not talking? All right, let me help you out with that. No, don't worry, I got you. All right, moving on, Lucas.
All right, so I mean, I guess I'm fucking switching sides now in this fucking conversation. Okay, first of all,
you're super quiet now. I don't know. Get closer to your mic.
Can you hear me better?
Much better. There we go.
Okay, so like I think I'm fucking switching sides now, and I'm fucking getting on dubious side now. Cause okay, this idea that just because you were born here, like no, I'm sorry. So the idea, I mean, I'm a fucking ANCAP, okay, and like, but this whole idea that we just because you were born in a fucking state, right? You don't deserve like the idea that of having a state, right? It's that this organization has a contract with the people that live in it, right? So if we're gonna have like a state, which I don't fucking think we should have, okay, but let's say we are gonna have it, right, which we currently do. If we're gonna have a fucking state, the state should have a duty to respond to the people that live within it, okay? So this idea that I mean, I'm for immigration. I think we should make more immigration legal. But this idea that illegal immigration is not bad, I'm sorry, it's not true. We should know who it is that it's living here. Now, this is why I think we should
you're against the
streamline.
state.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
why I think
so
we
why
should
would you be mad with somebody doing something against the state?
Reducing what? What do you mean?
Well, you're against the state, and somebody is acting against the state. Shouldn't you be in favor of that?
Not necessarily.
Well,
Because there are
you
things
just
that are
contradicted your entire philosophy. So what are you doing?
no, that's not what I'm doing. If you don't understand my fucking philosophy, then I'm sorry. But no, this idea that we're not gonna that we're not gonna have any fucking laws. Like I'm not anarcho-capitalism. It's not about anti-laws. It's about no state. You can have
No,
private
it's about
borders.
setting up your own arbiters and police that you pay for yourself.
Let him finish. Let him
Yeah.
finish. Get your point across, Lucas, please.
Yeah, so so what I was saying is this is all gets into the whole idea of social contract and stuff like that. The idea of having a state is that we're going to have a social contract with this organization, and this organization is going to enforce certain rules, right? And one of these current rules that we have, which I don't necessarily agree with these rules, it's the idea that we're going to allow some people in and some people out. Some people won't, right? So now idea that we should not follow these rules, I think it's
He's
a bad
got that
idea.
swag ass
Because
shit
one
that makes
thing
him
is
think
we cannot
fucked up
have.
shit.
I mean, this is something that I
He needs to
disagree
smoke
with,
better weed.
progressives completely on. This is something that most most people that do economics agree with me on. You cannot have a strong welfare system and open borders. So you guys need to make up your mind, okay? And either
we're not advocating
we're gonna have a
open
strong
borders.
Wait, some are. Some people are.
Some people are, and some people are in the current conversation. So are we gonna have open borders, or are we gonna have a strong welfare system? Because we cannot have both.
Right.
I
kind of can see
you
that.
can have a system that equitably provides across. Okay, like you can do both. It's a measure.
We'll go to Janie, and then we'll try the new guy, Fresh Ink, who hasn't actually said anything. So we'll go to Janie first.
I don't think it's sensible to just have complete open borders. I do agree that that is going to have an impact on the welfare system. Unless you are equalizing all economies across the world to be the same and provide economically the same opportunities, which I don't think there's enough resources, especially going into the climate change crisis we're inevitably going to fit. That's just not realistic, unfortunately. Like, I wish it was, but that's not the case. And I don't think you have to be... I think you're going to allow for immigration to an extent, and you definitely don't need the harsh conditions that are going on at the border wall currently. But that doesn't go, like, you can't go as far as to say, oh, we'll just have, like, everyone could just move everywhere, because unfortunately that is not going to work going forward, especially with the climate change crisis, which no one is taking into account in this conversation.
Okay. New guy, Fresh Ink. We'd love to hear something from you. Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hey, how's it going? Oh, so I kind of wanted to just kind of like touch on, this will be like kind of a closed perspective, right? Because it's just going to be from one person's point of view. But when my dad came to this country, he wasn't thinking about like social contracts or anything. He didn't really give a shit about that. He was leaving Mexico, coming to Texas. For him, he got a work visa at a restaurant, and he just overstayed it. And then he was just in a different place, and he's got into a better place just by working here, and he's been offered opportunities that he would not have been offered if he stayed in Mexico. And so this idea that people are coming to this country specifically to hurt, this isn't something that was explicitly said, but that people are coming to this country just to hurt, Americans or whatever, is not the perspective of the people that are taking up those opportunities to go through like these legal loopholes or to attack the system and like attack the state or the system. That's not what they're doing. They're just moving from one place to another. And it's, I'm sorry, I forget your name, but as you were talking about how climate change is going to impact these the particularly vulnerable groups of people, you can't just open up all the borders unilaterally, but you can definitely create a system to get the people immediately on the front lines of where.
No, I'm really good at putting myself on timeout. That's why. Yeah, I'll just because I know when I'm like getting heated, and I'll just like hit the mute button, and I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna like chill out for a minute, and I'll pull myself back.
So
because otherwise, like sometimes I'll just go off and start making really hyperbolic arguments, and I sound like Hans. And Hans is really good at that, but the problem is like
So why do they care?
I don't have
You don't
like a third or fourth screen where I can sit here and have a bunch of
just going back
stats
to
and
what
shit
you
up in
were
front of
saying,
me
like,
at the same time. So it's
is
always like
favoriting the like tribalism
I'm going to be a little
aspect
bit
of
more careful
Yeah,
about
think
how I
maybe we
how I
should center
handle
this
that
more
type
on
of
the
shit.
philosophical stuff because, like, I'm sorry, Queen Janie, like you were saying that you don't think that open borders are practical. I think Doobie and I both agreed that if it was practical or not, neither of us would agree. Like, one of us would be for and one of us would be against.
Time to hydrate.
So that's what I was kind of trying to ask, like, this kind of idea of, like, we need a state or we need to have people here, like, or sorry, we need to have people who are born here be given special treatment. I was trying to kind of get to, like, the more philosophical underpinnings of that. We don't need to go fucking crazy, but, like, I don't think that practicality is really what we're talking about here or what matters to most of us here.
Okay,
I mean,
if you want to talk about philosophy real quick, I understand that, but I kind of try to operate more in the real world, and I think looking at the practicality is the most important thing, unfortunately.
Well, then how do you even know what to look at if you don't? Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
How do you know what to look
You
at
look
if you
at
don't
the
have
real
I am right, correct.
unrealistic
Thank you.
hypotheticals for everything?
Oh man, Janie, we keep comparing you to my friend Joe, but you've diverged. She's all about philosophy. You've completely
I
diverged.
really can't be arsed with philosophy. I'm sorry. It is a load of just intellectual wanking to me.
You know what? I fucking agree.
I like
It's
you.
fucking shit.
I
Sorry,
fucking
that's
love
just
you.
facts. Okay.
No, Janie, I love you. I love
Okay,
you.
I love you too.
Everyone needs to
we
know
all
that.
look Luna.
But does
Luna
anybody
is
else
great.
want to kind of get at, like, what I'm talking about here?
No.
Well, I think I think
Sorry.
you're wrong. I think you're wrong, Mr. Nasdaq. I think that it's
Well, I mean,
both.
well,
But I
wrong
think
about what?
I think it's both, right? I think it's
I'd have
philosophical,
Doobie
but
on
also
just to
practical.
like.
So
I
totally
don't
open
know.
borders.
It
in the
could
case
be
of
an
the United
interesting
States, for example,
conversation to have him on the
might lead
stream.
to a lot of people coming to this country very quickly. Because a lot of people want to come in.
I'm gonna
There's a lot
agree
of
with you on
opportunity
all
here.
of this, by the way.
Yeah.
Because
And that
like
would
I
lead
said, like, I was
control
asking-
your impulses, bitch. I'm sorry. Wait, really quickly. So I think there's a culture here, right? And if we have an influx of people from other cultures, that I think could negatively impact our people and our culture, right?
The
and
dude,
so I
the
don't
dude
want
with
that.
the afro
I
needs
don't want
to
immigration to be
be
controlled.
needs to formulate what
Alright,
he wants
so
to say
I-
better. Gotcha,
sorry,
him.
should I-
No, so quick, do that.
It's a
Say
little
what you're going to say
convoluted,
quickly.
isn't
Then
it?
we're going to go to H9.
Well,
and
it's
then
gonna,
Janie after.
go ahead.
Okay, H9, then with Janie.
All right, Doobie, you always take the extreme take. I'm gonna reel it in. All right, it would be a problem if we would just have open borders and no regulation on who can get the welfare benefits of the state. Like that would be insane. If everyone from South America could just say "fuck it, let's go to America," that would be awful, truly. So it should be limited. And people like, oh, they're gonna change our culture for the worse. Where has that happened? Where has a large number of people in American history immigrated and changed their culture for the worse? Like the Irish immigrated, the Italians, the Poles, the Germans.
The British
Like,
with the Native American genocide, no?
That's.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm memeing.
God damn
that's
it.
me. Okay, but where has this like we've taken in a lot of people, they assimilate really well, we take their food and like we say like you're American now, and in one generation they feel American and they are American.
Yeah, but that's controlled like immigration, right? What they're talking about is open
Well,
borders.
you could say
What
that,
they're
but like
talking
was
about
it
is
really
totally open
controlled back
borders.
in the 1700s, the 1800s?
I mean,
like when did we
if
really
like-
first
no, no.
having hard caps on
Whoever
immigration?
said open
Wait, no.
borders? Whoever
did.
said open
Hey,
borders?
Mr.
Right,
Mr.
I did.
Nasdaq did.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, from a moral standpoint, like not ethics, from a moral standpoint, why
Right.
does that matter? And I'm trying to walk from like foundation to actual prescription, because what it sounds like is that Doobie and I disagree on morality. It has nothing to do with practical ethics. That's what it sounds like to me.
So
Talking
yeah,
about
the
studies
morality is there.
That's
in
why I
your
talk
favor.
about open borders. I'm not for
But-
open borders practically.
But you're not going to
But
save anybody
if
from
you-
their morality. They've signed up for that.
What?
If you don't look at like the practicality of implementing a system like that, then you risk.
Do you understand the difference between fucking morals and ethics?
Jesus Christ, dude, take a chill pill, man.
Okay,
Damn.
here, I'll say it more calm.
Okay. All right. So
Do you
it's
understand the difference between morals and ethics.
I just
God,
explained
who
it, bro.
cares? I mean,
I'm talking about
Yeah,
ideals
get
versus
get
actual
fucked,
practicality.
philosophy.
this is why the left gets nothing done because we talk
Oh my
about
God,
here.
what-
You're
is this
the
really what
Here's the
we're
left
talking about?
cannibalizing itself. I've been
I'm
waiting for this
sick. I'm sick of hearing
conversation.
everyone
This is the
pretend that really
conversation I've been
smart. Like, let's
wanting.
get shit
The left
done.
loves to eat itself.
I'm sick. I'm sick of it.
This literally has nothing
Sorry,
to do
I
with
just want to
politics.
get
This
that
whole
out.
discussion,
I
I'm
have
just
my
literally talking
patience
about
is
philosophy.
thin. I'm ill.
Janie, go ahead. You were going to say something.
I'm not feeling well, okay? And I don't have time. If people want to call me low IQ in your chat, Prime, then let them fucking
It's
do
not
it.
low IQ.
Okay,
It's just
first
I
of
like
all,
to work
It's realistic.
on reality.
okay, first of all, you know what? Fuck chat. You know, I say that all the time. Fuck the
Fuck
chat.
you.
Fuck chat.
Fuck you.
All right. So
No
we
offense, no.
we
Actually,
don't
no,
no,
some of
no
them.
I was
offense,
trying
no
to
offense
add
to
her.
chat. No offense to chat. No, like actual offense
So,
to the
not
chat.
trying
Let
to make her a big
me know.
face.
Let's not.
Oh, not
But
trying to make a
Janie,
big face. I was just trying to
you're
add
actually
her
very
like to
intelligent
the
individual.
friends like
You're
section,
smart
so
enough
I
not to
could
like
put her on
philosophy,
Discord.
okay? But if you have anything
Thank
else you
you.
want to say, say it now.
I would just like to say that I did not mean to come for Nasdaq like that, but I'm not allowed to apologize anymore because people when I'm streaming say I apologize too much. So now instead of saying sorry, I have to say fuck you. So if I just start screaming fuck you, it's because I want to apologize.
I'd
for
respond
being
better to
rude.
that anyway, so thank you.
There,
Okay,
that's what I was
so
trying to
fuck
do.
you, Nasdaq. Fuck you.
That's my love language. Thank you.
I can't see shit. I'm wearing sunglasses.
All right.
Anyway, go ahead.
Just kidding.
No. Okay. So what happens
just
now?
forgot.
What happens now? Because we weren't able to complete that level 5 hype train. Oh well. Consequences.
These people don't care about aliens, yeah.
Nor do they care about bonus time. The bonus time that I offered everyone. But it's fine because we had a good time today. At least I did.
I did.
Yeah. Hooray!
Don't you?
That's all. And Janie, only you and I exist in this world, so that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Can
That's
I
the
just ask
real
one question,
philosophy.
real quick, just to the audience or people? Do people not understand like the distinction that I'm trying to make here between like I'm not trying to make a practical argument, but I'm trying to argue with Doobie on the actual like fundamental values that we have based on.
You're lefty.
I have
We
no
expect all of you.
values.
We expect all of your positions to be totally impractical. That's fine.
I have no values.
Wait, how do you even know I'm left wing?
It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyway, exclamation for social and chat. To follow us on social media. Social media of if I can spell social. Clearly I cannot. But exclamation for social and chat. To follow us on Twitter. You'll get channel updates. Jump into our Discord. This is where we're having this conversation and all other conversations, online, offline, voice chat, text chat. We have plenty of conversations. That's a part of this community. Be a part of that community. Jump into the Discord. Also have a YouTube. That's where these VODs live. They live on the YouTube, not anywhere else. So like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. Follow the channel. I haven't done so yet. Follow the channel. Make sure notifications are on. So I'm going live. I do 6 nights a week. Don't want you to miss out on all the content. You missed a bunch. It was a long last stream with lots of shit that happened today. Holy crap. Like so much drama, like within seconds of starting the stream. Seconds of starting the stream. You don't get that from any other channel, right? You get that from me. So hit that follow button right now. Make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live. Thank you so much. Off you go to our friend, Fawn, who we like a lot, who she poked her head in here today. And she's great. And I don't know, is her stream active yet? I hope so.
Hell yeah, brother.
Just getting
See,
started.
coming back like a
Hold on.
cardiac.
It's up there. Yeah, I see her
Hopefully
face. Okay.
not a
Be nice to
cardiac
Fawn.
arrest.
We like her a lot. And come back tomorrow. We'll do a thing. It'll be great. Awkwardly waiting as usual for this thing to run out. Okay. Bye. Off you go. All right. Be right back.
Fuck you guys.
Fuck you
Fuck
too,
you.
frog.
Fuck you.
I love you, Doobie. You're amazing. Okay.
I actually really would like to have you on my stream sometime just to have a contrarian,
Not
like,
if you get that
bust my
close.
balls.
No.
Oh,
Do you
Doobie
really
is
want,
amazing.
Jason, listen, do you want someone who is getting that close to your face and staring at your soul like that? Do you really want that? Is it worth it? Is
I
it
don't.
worth it?
I don't.
Realistically.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
do
thank
want-
you. Thank you.
It's slightly disturbing for sure.
Look at that.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
horrifying.
I'd
I
go
have it
for
as
it
my
though,
main
because
screen.
you know what? I'm all about jumping into the abyss. Let's do that shit. Yeah, but you're cute though. You're cute. It's different. You can't make it look bad.
Oh man. It's disturbing. It is.
Janie is upset by my beauty. Fuck you, Janie.
It's hard. I can't be as beautiful as him. You know, it's just devastating.
Oh man.
You've been after me since the fucking condom conversation.
I've been
Shitting
after you before then, honey. Okay. I've been after you a long
Oh
time.
yes, do.
Not
I
like that.
will wear it.
It was very cancerous.
That's incredible.
Condoms
Yes.
so bad, don't wear them.
Dumb.
Grow up, dude.
You know, I
I'm
take every
grown.
opportunity not to wear a condom too.
I literally had sex without a condom
I
like
mean,
this past weekend.
I don't
want to
know.
Perfectly fine.
Boys are fucking nasty, okay? No offense, actually. Well,
Nice.
no offense to Doobie, but not the others. I'll allow it.
Should we wear a condom while I'm getting a blowjob? Do I now have to do that? Because that is hell.
Isn't that
You
why they make
know,
flavored condoms?
I don't want to know. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Okay?
Awesome, good, okay. Because I would literally video game myself if I had to do that,
What the fuck?
bro.
So glad this is all going on my stream. Just delightful. Combo.
Oh, you didn't say I didn't know this. Good thing I said video game myself.
Right. Well, I mean, okay.
In a video game, in Minecraft.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Minecraft,
Everyone on my side
GTA.
of the pond is just waking up. They just want to have their
Fortnite.
coffee, and they gotta listen to this degeneracy.
Thanks for the stream.
Yeah.
Fair
Thanks for
show.
being here.
Yeah.
Is gonna be very upset about this now.
Do you know, Doobie, you know where that there was once a time that there was 80% of foreign-born people living in New York City?
That's fine, as long as it came in legally.
Yeah, the way they came in legally was just sign their name on a piece of paper and where they're from, and that's it.
Well, if that's the rules we came up with at the time, great, go for it.
My dad got a job at Chili's and they just overstayed his work visa. And now
My great grandfather. Wait, no, my grandfather, on my father's side, came over and worked as a mechanic. He slept in the car dealership, like in one of the cars for like months or whatever.
Doobie, what country are your parents from?
They were they're both born in California. My grandparents on my father's side and my great grandparents on my mother's side were born in Mexico.
Oh, okay. So you're second generation immigrant.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because you said first, so I thought it was like your parents were born in a different country. Okay. I mean, I wanted to like just point out, like, if somebody like says something that like back in the days that people weren't like limited at all in immigration. I mean, they were like, if English people came to the States during like the revolution, they were getting killed. Like, that's the limits that they had.
Well, see you later.
Spanish people.
Why would anyone want to come to America? Is my question.
America is amazing. What do you mean?
It's amazing. It's so great.
And I get my
All
free
right.
health care. I get my free health care.
It's not free.
More
Wait,
bank
wait.
holidays.
It's not free.
I have a great old time.
It's not free.
Okay, hold up.
It is free.
Hold up.
You're getting taxed out of
I'm hopping off. Thank you very
I
much,
gotta
Prime,
pay the
as always.
taxes,
You're a
honey. I
rock
gotta
star,
pay
man.
the
Thank you so
taxes
much.
and not